Okay, we are live. Hey, you guys, look like a bunch of y'all are in here already. Look at this. Who we got up
Usual
there?
suspects. Hi, guys.
You look like we got Miss V Young, Cynthia Chain, Melissa Spencer, Melinda Pierce, Brooklyn Rayner, Keita on Quebec, Aisha Jackson, and Ryan Carey. Y'all are in here. Welcoming you guys to Soap Corner Talk. It's myself, T. I got Keish and Bree on the line. And we're talking Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and Beyond the Gates for the week of August 17th through August 21st. And I don't know, there's been a lot more drama, I would say, happening on Y&R. Obviously, we got this thing going on with Billy and Chancellor, and then on Beyond the Gates, we still have remnants of this whole thing with Haley and Bill, and she trying to put him 6 feet under, and then I don't know, the little residual stuff last week was like Eva trying to get Leslie to lock in with Malone and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know.
I was
What
confused by that because I'm like, isn't he married still?
I'm assuming maybe not anymore because even after today's episode, they trying to solidify some things.
Well, he said on today's episode that they're divorced. He
Oh,
said
okay.
something like, I got divorced from my wife for this kind of foolishness
Okay.
or whatever it was that he was mad at Leslie about. So I guess he
It's
finally got
final.
divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, at least she won't be a side chick anymore. Maybe that's, she,
I
maybe that's the part that terrifies her.
I
She's
wonder.
growing up.
I'm wondering at this point they're trying to move her away a little bit from this obsession with Ted and trying to give her a
I,
love interest or something because
I wonder that too, but then it's like, what was the point of that flashback episode unless they were getting ready to go back to the direction of putting Ted and Leslie together? Like,
I
why do we need a flashback of how Ted and Leslie met each other when they're not really, like, it doesn't seem like they're even putting them in a storyline to try to rekindle something?
yeah, I'm not sure
It
about
didn't make
that.
sense to me.
Yeah, because the other thing is, remember we had Nicole having fantasies about getting back with Ted, and then they dropped that off too. So I don't know what
Yeah.
where they're going with when it comes to Ted, because I do know, in my opinion, I don't see the chemistry between him and Shanice. I think it's forced. So I'm gonna leave that right there.
Yeah. We're trying because we get more airtime with her, but yeah. I don't think it's bad. It's just not like, man, I can't wait to see Shanice and Ted.
Right.
It's just middle of the road, I guess.
Right. It's
It's
blase,
not bad, but it's not
blase. I
spectacular.
guess. Yeah. Something. I'm like,
It's not like Ashley and Derek.
oh God, no.
Yeah. If to draw a comparison, it's not like Ashley and Derek.
Right. Right. All right. So if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you also hit the like button so we can let everybody know that we're having some good old conversations over here. We normally start with the young and the restless first. Then we have the bold and the beautiful, and then beyond the gates. And then we have some fun segments at the end. Flip the script. Who's taking several seats this week? Star of the week, pickle of the week. We have the Simple Olympics and the Audacity Award. So a lot of good stuff to talk about. I mean, Bo got definitely the drama, which that stuff started at the beginning of last week, which we kind of talked about on last Monday's show. But we'll definitely have a lot to tag team onto that. So, all right. So, where do we start? Might as well jump into Y&R. So we got this whole thing going on where Billy found out about the lien that wasn't paid for that happened from 1973 and was in effect 1976. I'm sorry. That was in effect to 1996. So a 20-year-old lien that was never paid. And so he feels that since it wasn't paid, according to the way it stands, that it goes back to the lien holder and or their heirs. And of course, obviously the Abbotts are the heirs because John Abbott is no longer with us. So now he's on a rampage. And I mean, he's been running his mouth. Lily, Kane, Victor, everybody is pretty much on high alert trying to create, problems and pitfalls for Billy to not, get this company in his hands. So I guess we can start there. And then the other stuff is this whole thing with Sharon and Matt Clark, the stuff that's going on with Nicholas being over at rehab. And then at the tail end of the week, we had this mess. Well, no, that happened pretty much today. So I guess we could talk about that, where Nikki is trying to play two in the middle and Jack is an idiot. So, um, yeah. So what do you got on? What? Let's start with the whole thing. Let's get Matt Clark and Sharon out of the way. What do you think about all that? He's begging for forgiveness and he's not going anywhere, and Sharon is looking like, maybe I should think he's sincere because she had a conversation with Nicholas at the rehab about it.
So they copy and pasted Sheila's storyline from what it seems like. And once again, everyone keeps saying like, oh, we need to be maybe afraid of him. Like he's dangerous. He's this, he's that. And then we see Sharon, who was one of his main victims, have a whole conversation with this man. And then fast forward, talks to Nick and says, hey, I think that he's changed. Not, I'm going to steer clear of him. We can protect ourselves, but I feel that he's being genuine about saying that he's changed. And I was actually surprised that she talked to Matt and said, like, hey, I did some things I'm not proud of. And I had to work on forgiveness. I wasn't in my right mind. And, things that happened for me to do certain crimes. I was surprised that they had like a very civil conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I I guess it's just Nick who's gonna feel away. So Nick is the Steffi in this situation.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So Nick is the Steffi in this situation. And rightfully so. And Nick can feel how he feels because I think he told Sharon, like, look, he can transform to like 100,000 people. It doesn't even matter. I'm still going to feel the same way. And that's fine. And then I'm so glad that he just admitted, like, look, I have a hero complex. I can't help myself.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be the man to save the day.
Yeah, like, and he's been doing that for years.
And I'm like, rehab has been really good for you. So you're countering the drug and the hero complex in the rehab center. Thank God. And Sharon's like, look, we can save ourselves. We can protect ourselves. You just focus on what you're doing in there. Mm-hmm. But they have given Matt Clark a big old redemption. The fact that Sharon is saying, hey, this man has changed, that says a lot. Yeah. And she was one of his main victims.
They're definitely like they're trying to rush this redemption on. They got they got Noah and Sienna out the way, so we don't have to deal with them back and forth. Of course, Phyllis is trying to create some sort of relationship with him. Sharon looked like she is not going to tiptoe around him like that anymore. So, like you say, it's only one person left, that's Nicholas, and what's going to happen at this point? I mean, at some point, if you're going to redeem a villain like that or Sheila, everybody eventually is going to have to get on board, or else the character's locked in a corner. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, somebody can stay angry forever, but it's like, okay, if you're trying to do a full redemption where he can move around about town and maybe get, like in this case, he get a relationship, he get a job, he's trying to, I don't know. It's you took a very dangerous man who we just saw in the past 6 months try to literally blow them up in Vegas and say, I don't have a memory. Let's, wipe the slate clean.
Yeah. I'm disgusted.
What'd you say?
Just I'm disgusted with this storyline and with Matt Clark getting a redemption. There was no need for any of this, and I don't care that they have Sharon forgiving him. It doesn't make the story any better. It doesn't make the character likable. It doesn't make the viewers forget that he SA'd her. Like, it's easy to write a redemption for a character when you just want the character on the show and you just have everybody say, okay, we forgive you. But it's also like, it's not as if he came back to town with good intentions and everybody saw the change in him. He came back to town with bad intentions, was lucky, I guess we could say lucky enough to have this accident to where he lost his memory. And and then even after that, it just feels like it wasn't Sharon just saying, oh, well, maybe he has changed. It was like he was forcing himself um in her face and in everybody else's face, saying, I've changed, I need you to forgive me and I need you to believe me. Like, that's what his redemption is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I don't know.
Not
But I
feeling it.
mean, they're gonna write it the way they want to write it because they want the character on the show. But it doesn't mean that people have to like it. And there's a lot of people on social media that are not happy with this storyline and not happy with how they've basically just had every character on the show act like what Matt Clark did was, I don't know, accidentally running over Sharon's foot with his car. Like, having Sharon sit there and say, I've made mistakes in my life too. Um, no, we're not doing that. Not with a victim. Not with a victim, especially a victim of, SA.
I know.
That's right. I'm disgusted with that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if their rationale is because there's so many people on this show that has done it, including Michael Baldwin, who will sit and kiki with Christine every single day, and their best be,
He
and
officiated their wedding.
what you
But this
say?
was the opportunity. This was an opportunity for them to not do that, to not fall back into those same patterns that they were doing in the 90s
Right.
and early 2000s. Like, this is 2026.
Right, and I
They
get
shouldn't
it
be
because
writing the
we're
same
the
way.
we're the biggest proponents of always even talking about what happened with Jack on that boat and everything else. I'm just
Yeah.
in their twisted way of writing this dialogue, they're trying to, just like they redeemed her, they redeemed they redeemed him, they redeemed Chelsea because Chelsea was a essayer. When it
Mm-hmm.
came to Billy, um, it's just so many examples of that, and then they just wipe the slate clean and let the characters move on. It seems, and
And
go ahead.
as I said, and they swept up all the stuff that Patty just did to Jack
Mhm.
rather quickly.
Mhm.
So their lack of sensitivity, you can tell who's writing it, is the lack of sensitivity to certain storylines. Um, and they go for like a lot of the shock value and hoping that the audience stays desensitized to certain things. And for the most part, it's been working because there was people who were like, even in the Patty and Jack situation, there were people who were upset with Jack for cheating.
Right. They saw it as cheating versus him being, under some sort of an influence, not able to consent fully. You know.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah. My thing is just because they did it 20 years ago or 15 years ago doesn't mean that you need to keep repeating those same patterns.
Oh,
Like
I agree.
I need I need you guys to evolve in your thinking and change with the times and right because you they brought back a character that we didn't even need. We didn't need Matt Clark.
I think what ended up happening that he was going to be on there short term, but Roger Horwath is so good of an actor. They're like, how do we keep this guy? And I think that's the conundrum because we've had other villains like Ray Wise. He comes and goes. He never sticks around. We've had Cameron
Colleen
Kirsten,
Zink.
huh?
Colleen Zink.
Yeah, Colleen Zink. We've had a lot of people that come and go, but that were villains and did some horrible things. However, when it came to this particular character or this particular actor, they obviously did not want to let this guy go. And so they were like, how do we've already wrote him as a horrible person. How do we keep this man around?
Yeah, it was about the actor.
Yep.
Resorted to cheap storylines, cheap writings, and cheap redemption. And it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make just. Roger is an incredible actor, but to me, just because he's a great actor, it doesn't make the character appealing. Like I'm never going to like the character of Matt Clark, and I'm always going to think that him being on this show makes zero sense. I don't care that he does have memory loss. Like that's not a good enough excuse to keep a character around and to give him redemption because he can't remember the things that he did. And I don't know. Mm. I'm highly offended by that character being on. Well, how do you feel about like them kind of romanticizing him and putting him with Phyllis and doing a love scene with them? That's even worse. Like, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what they've always done on YNR. Like expecting the audience to be desensitized. Like let's take Diane for example. Her whole husband was her victim at one point. Mm-hmm. So without people who are like who's been watching the show for years, there might be people who's watched on for like 5 years and be like, oh, okay, we didn't know that she did that. So and it's happened so long ago, people won't realize that. And then we talked about Michael and Christine. And then you brought up Chelsea, and then Kevin did the same thing to Lily. There's a lot of different examples that we can point out, and they've always brushed it under the rug. But I do agree they need to be more creative with and do character development and not dust off some of these old characters who did horrible things. Roger should have been Tucker McCall. Or if they were going to bring him back, they should have not brought him back as a villain again to turn like around in 3 months to have him lose his memory so they could make him a normal character on the show. Like, I agree with it. They could have did the lazy route and said he was a twin. It didn't even have to be a twin. It could have been Matt Clark. However, over the last 20 years since we last saw him, he's gone through intense therapy. He's turned his life around. He has atoned for the things that he's done. You know what I mean? There could have been things that they could have done when he came back on the show for him to be a more appealing character. And they didn't do that. They brought him back to be an attempted unaliver, a kidnapper, whatever other crimes. He was a drug dealer, whatever other crimes that he was doing. And then they want us to just, it's all forgiven now because he can't remember anything. Everybody give him a break. And it's like, no. Why didn't you just bring him back as a redeemed person and told us about everything that he had done to fix his life and to, I don't know, give back to the community or something. Yeah, but it's like, it's the same thing they did with
what I was
Sheila.
going to say. We talking about Josh Griffith. Yeah.
I know. But it's the exact same thing they did with Sheila. They brought her back, and that was a perfect opportunity to actually redeem her because we hadn't seen her in years, and she hadn't done anything in years. And then they have her try to unalive 3 people. And it's like, and then you want to turn around and redeem her and pretend like what she did wasn't that bad. Like, why did you have her do that in the first place? You could have just brought her back and had her be normal, and everything would have been all good. I mean, there still could have been drama, but it didn't have to be violent drama. It could have been drama of a different type. But now it's like super unrealistic. It's always going to be unrealistic. I mean, it's a soap, so it's going to be unrealistic anyway.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just the writers just really annoy me when they do this kind of stuff, because it was so unnecessary to have him do all of this only to keep him on and to try to make him a normal part of society.
So. We got another month of Josh Griffith's writing before we see the new writers writing in October. So we got about a month and some change.
Yep.
So. I feel like it's too late at this point for him, though, because either if they're going to fix what Josh Griffith does, the only thing that they can do is fire him.
Or you talking about Roger?
Back. Yeah. Or bring his memory back and have him go back to being an actual villain instead of pretending like he's this great guy that didn't mean to harm anybody. So it's like they don't really have that many options for him. So they're going to have to roll with the redeemed Matt Clark.
Well, and I agree with that. I mean, that would be like saying that Michael has to go back to who he used to be, Chelsea and Diane and all these other characters. I mean, I think there is some room for some form of redemption just to move the character along, move the storylines along. They pretty much redeemed him. I mean, the fact that he had a whole sit down with one of his main victims, and she says, like, "Hey, I'm moving past it. I think he's changed." That tells the audience that, hey, this man has changed, to move on and move forward. And I don't know what else they could do going forward with this character. It's just a shame that Roger's kind of being put in this position with this character. He should have been Tucker McCall. They could have brought back
Tucker McCall. That would have been him. Yeah, and especially with this storyline with Billy and whatnot. Even if they didn't bring Roger back during that time when Tucker was around, maybe he took some time off. They could have brought Roger to play Tucker like now, since Devon don't want the company, and he comes and step up and like, hey, this is my mom's company. I'm taking over. Y'all sit down somewhere. I don't know.
That would have been perfect to insert Tucker McCall with this stuff going on with Lily and Billy.
Right.
Since he's an actual chancellor.
Yep. So, all right. We also had Nina back on screen this week with Tracy and Christine, and they all came up to give well wishes to Danny as he's new part owner of the club. I just think that's just so quick and forced. I mean, you had Noah come up here and do Shadow Room 2.0 with Sienna working behind the bar, and then all of a sudden, I'm going back to LA, and then Danny gets to own half of it.
I mean, I was surprised by that. They doing anything to try to keep that bar around, because the set itself is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I'll give them credit. So they're trying to utilize it.
Right.
So it didn't surprise me that someone else was gonna get that bar, but I mean, if it's Danny, it's Danny. I mean, he can give his son a job finally.
Right.
Which I guess still hasn't happened yet. But I didn't mind it. And it was kind of the little scene with Nina and Tracy and Christine was kind of cute. Like, actually, I was like, Tracy, you want to get a what? You want a one night what? You? I was not expecting her to say that.
Yeah.
But it was a cute little conversation.
I don't know. I just can't. Anytime that they're on screen, and I know that they have their own fan base, I just can't get into it. I don't know if they just don't have an interesting storyline that they're giving the two of them. Only time I find Christine interesting is when she's in the middle of a court battle over something.
Well, she technically was.
Christine.
What'd you say?
Me either.
I've never been I didn't hate her. I didn't dislike her, but she was just like there. Her and Danny both.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
I mean, I could take it or leave it with Christine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that she's a hypocrite. I feel that she is one-sided, especially when it comes to Phyllis. Because I think she also had a conversation with, oh, that's right, that whole lip sync performance that Danny did with his new
Mm-hmm.
song. And then Michael and Christine were trashing Phyllis, Michael being a fair weather friend if he is. Um, so I don't like it when Christine does that and
Mm-hmm.
then also gets upset when Phyllis, throws those jabs back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't mind her. She's just kind of like a very pretty houseplant for
Oh
me.
Lord.
She she's a beautiful houseplant.
Mm-hmm.
One of them luxurious ones in the mansions. But if she's gone for like a couple of months, it's not like I would miss her, but that's just me. And like you brought up a very valid point, there's different fan bases for different eras of people who watch the show.
Right.
And that's why I said like there might be like new people who's been watching it for like a couple of years and people who's been watching it since the very first episode. So they're gonna certain things are gonna cater to the audience. And the way I look at it is like certain things are just not gonna be for me.
Right.
So that caters to that audience, that's perfectly fine. I
Yep.
will gladly fast forward and go about my business.
Yep. All right. Another little storyline that we've been seeing over this past week is the tension brewing between a couple of people, and that's Nate and Stephanie, and Kyle and Victoria.
Hmm. I'm looking forward to Kyle and Victoria. I'm sorry. I just am. Mostly because of the messiness. I don't even care about the age. Why are people highlighting this age difference?
You said, why are they highlighting it?
Yeah, like the double standard of it all. Like, these are
it's kind of
still
the same
grown
thing.
people.
Kind of the same thing they did with Noah and what's her name?
Sienna. Well,
Sienna.
That was just creepy because the two actors played mother and son. Like, you can go back and see episodes where she said like, "Hi, son," and "Hi, mom," and then fast forward, they're tonguing each other down. That was just weird. Whereas, I don't see it being a big deal. Like taking like the age difference as far as the man and the woman. Like if it's an older woman and a younger man, as long as they're grown people, I don't think it should matter. Kyle's in his late 30s. Victoria's 50, early 50s or right at 50, something like that. 'Cause she's the oldest Newman. I don't really see the big deal as far as the age gap. And plus, the biological mother of Harrison is older. So Kyle likes older. He likes a variety of different women. I don't think he particularly has a type, just who likes him or who's interested in him. But I am excited for the messiness. And to be very honest, I think he's playing with Victoria to get to Victor.
Well, there is, and spoiler alert, tomorrow, Victoria wants to do. Remember that challenge back in Nice between Audra and Kyle to have a competition between the two cosmetics company? So Vibrante is owned by Newman. And so Victoria wants to revive it. And so she wants to create that same competition to bring notability to the new cosmetic company over there. And so she asking Kyle to um, work as a part of this whole challenge to hype up everything.
Mm-hmm. All that extra tension, all that extra, closeness, working together. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's feeding right into that.
Well,
He's about to play her.
well, Claire is not happy about it. So
Well, she's not gonna be happy about a lot of things. And will this bring out the bad girl Claire again?
I guess we'll have to see.
Because I don't think nobody's going to be okay with their mom dating their ex.
Yeah, I know, right? And then what do y'all think about? Because we'll get a little bit more of a more tension between Kyle and I mean between Nate and Stephanie tomorrow. But are y'all interested or do you?
No.
Oh, okay, that was a quick no. Was that both of y'all or was that just Bree?
That was Brie. I am also not interested in that because she feels motherly to me, even where Nate is concerned, because she talked about how um she's friends with his mom, so it's
Right.
just like
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's about two different opportunities in tomorrow's episode where they look like they about to kiss. So,
Oh,
mm,
God. Oh.
and they kind of
Um,
catch themselves, and it's like, oh, okay, I gotta go.
didn't
yeah,
she
that's odd to
say,
me.
didn't she say that she was around when he was born?
Well, that's another age gap dating type of situation.
Yeah, that's a huge
Mm-hmm.
age gap. But as a couple, uh, it's just not anything I would be particularly excited for. I would rather
Mm-hmm.
for Nate to cross over, to
Mm-hmm.
be on the gates and get with somebody else. If it was Nate and Nicole, I'd be here for it. That would be something brand new for her.
Okay.
Um, or get Nate and who else is on there? Nate and somebody. Nothing against Stephanie or Vivica Fox. I just don't see this chemistry at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah. Well, it looked like that's what they're gonna be trying to do with those two. So.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect that to happen.
Me
At
either. But I
all.
mean, I started seeing more and more because they started spending a lot of time together.
He making her dinner,
Right. Well,
and
they going exactly. So you'll see. I guess part of it tomorrow.
what do you think?
Yeah, no. I'm just I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that alone.
It's just like they could have paired them up with other people,
Right.
and I would have been okay with
Oh
it.
well,
Yeah, I just
wait a minute. You said they could have paired them up with other people. Who would they pair Stephanie with?
cross her over so she can be with Malone,
Oh,
or
you talking about crossover? I thought you meant on
you
the
did
show.
that. Look, some somebody else, just not Nate. I just don't see it at all. Uh, Not even remotely. I would never put her with Victor. I would never put her with Jack or um, who else is on there? Nobody. There's nobody I can see them putting her with
Gotcha.
outside of crossing her over.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Trying to think. Was there something else?
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Huh?
I was reading a comment from Love Peace Light. They want Nate back
Back
with
with
Audra.
Audra. Okay. I wanted to see Noah and Audra. I wish they could have gave that a chance.
Me too. Oh, such a missed opportunity.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, right? And Gail says she would like to see Haley with Kyle together again.
you know what? I actually did. I liked Kyle on Beyond the Games. I wasn't like he was just cool, just relaxed. I'm like, okay, you'd be a really good fit over there.
Right.
I can see him with Haley. I can see him with quite a few people over there.
Could you see him with Ashley?
No, I don't want to do that to him. Even Kyle. Even Kyle. I don't want to do that to him.
I'm trying to think
Put
who.
Liam with Ashley.
Who?
Liam with Ashley.
Lee. Oh, wait a minute. Say that name again. Oh, Leah.
Liam Spencer.
Oh, with Ashley. Okay, Liam. Okay, from the Bold and the
There,
Beautiful.
that's a perfect fit.
I guess.
Look, I can't see who they would put him with either besides her. I would say Summer, but I want to do that to Summer. But, like, is this certain things just fit chemistry wise?
Right.
He would be great with Ashley. But Kyle got little bit more edge, you know. He could be with quite a few different women over on Beyond the Gates.
Would you put Kyle with Kat?
No. Kat is a specific type of woman. You gotta. No, they're gonna butt heads a little bit too much. But he would be great probably with a Haley because he has the bad boy edge.
Oh.
And he loves a criminal. Who else could they put? There's a lot of people.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Maybe on the trivia night or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also coming up, you guys. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yes.
All right. We gotta talk about this whole thing with Billy, and Lily, and all of this stuff with that Chancellor situation. Um, Kane was caping. Kane was saying he wouldn't get his hands dirty, and I'm like,
so by dirty you mean crawl on the ground and go back to Victor?
that, or else get in trouble and do something illegal just to help her.
The fact that this man went back to Victor after he torpedoed your company, he took the mother of your children and your children and did a stage kidnapping and had you go round and round in circles for 2 months.
Well, you know what? What's interesting, and also spoiler alert, tomorrow, Devon comes over there and had the same conversation with Nate. They want Lily to let this thing go, and one of the biggest fears that Devon has is what she, and he brought up the fact that she faked the whole kidnapping to get what she want. What else is she going to do? Even if that means getting involved with Victor. And he was like, what is enough for her? You know, what else is she gonna do this time?
I'm like, Devon, just go ahead and let that go. I mean, you already embedded into the Newman family. You're the Newman child. You forever have to deal with Victor. So she has no problem kissing the ring and letting this man like give her all these dreams and fantasies and tell her all these lies that she believes, and then she gets, you know, egg on her face. That's what she wants to do in life. And this is the note I have for most of the characters who go to Victor. If that's what you want to do, just own it. Just kiss the ring, polish the ring, say yes, sir, yes, Mr. Newman. You know, just go about that. Don't at the same time talk about Victor. You go to him for everything. Like that is that's everything to y'all. So if she wants to go about this with Billy and this back and forth and fight over somebody else's company, then let her do it. I think that she's going to win in all of this, but what lengths is she willing to go to? I mean, if she took her own kids and faked the kidnapping, there ain't no telling what she's going to do.
Right, exactly. So part of the thing, I guess, besides um, Kane going to Victor, and now Victor's on notice, and I'm like, he don't want you running the company. What makes you think that you can run over there and try to solicit him for help? He don't like you. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, she decided to try to pull the rug from up under Billy by going to Jack and asking him to do a buyout of that lien. And so therefore she'll own it clear and free with no loan issues, and Billy will have no access to that company. Now he's considering it, but I think after tomorrow that is a no-go.
Yeah, so she gonna really do something strange for that company. um, it's just amazing to me how they say like how Billy's obsessed with Chancellor. She is also obsessed with Chancellor.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
one thing I will give Devon credit for, and then we got to talk about that scene that she had with Devon and Kane too.
Mm-hmm.
But Devon is like, look, you have a whole company to run. You have Winters like all to yourself. You can do whatever you want with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nate hit the nail on the head, saying like, how much is it about you getting Chancellor and or you keeping Kane employed?
Right.
I think that's the bigger thing. She don't want Kane to lose that job.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if y'all can put your heads together and start your own company if you wanted to. And plus,
Mm-hmm.
if you're running Winters, why don't you just hire him over Winter? I just don't understand that. But she is also equally obsessed with Chancellor. Like she went, we keep saying this, she faked a whole kidnapping to get Chancellor.
Right. Yep. That is true. And then that whole conversation at society, because she thought that, trying to emotionally manipulate Devon and making him feel bad and feel guilty because she was so disappointed in him, that it was going to make him do something. And he was like, I'm sorry you feel this way, but you know what? I'm about to be out. I was like, that's how you do it. Do not let nobody emotionally manipulate you. And that's exactly what she was trying to do. He stated his point. He does not want to have anything to do with this fight. And instead of saying, I respect your wishes, she turned around and want to guilt trip him.
Yeah, I was proud of Devon, and he was cool and even tempered.
Yep.
And she 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 really disappointed me because like, do you understand what you also put your brother through? You yourself, in saying that he wasn't there for you, he was there for you when he was looking for you, thinking that you were really missing, something really truly happened to you.
Right.
Meanwhile, he was also stressing about his own child.
Exactly.
And you're the same person who says like, oh, you're so angry, you're so this, you're so that. Well, he's been dealing with a lot of stress, and some of that came from you, ma'am.
Exactly.
And now here's another added on stress. And you want to guilt trip him because you want him to write the check, the same check you want to hand over to Jack so you can get the company.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all she's seeing her brother for. She don't trust him as a billionaire, but she's okay with going to him to write a check. She didn't say it in those words, but that's exactly what else is she going to go to Devon for?
My thing is that she don't respect no. When somebody
Nope.
tells you no, you're supposed to stop right there. And she did that with Jack.
Yes, she did. I was about to say.
She did that with Jack, and she tried to guilt trip her brother. When they made their stance, like, look, I don't want to get involved. Yeah, but you're not getting involved, meaning that you're siding with Billy. He said he don't want to do it. Now, don't, I mean, he's trying to be nice because at one moment I thought Jack was going to be like, oh, you trying to get snippy with me? Oh, okay, I can make this hard for you. But he didn't. But she
Yeah.
kept pushing the buttons, though.
My question is, what hold does Lily feel that she has on people in Genoa City?
She thinks she's
'Cause
entitled. Everybody,
Yeah.
oh, Lily, I'm so free. We gotta look out for, because she always played a victim. It's always somebody else's fault.
And they make it seem like she's this sweet, innocent person. I'm like, do you guys know what all this woman has done thus far?
Mm-hmm.
But you guys want to walk on eggshells. And I'm like, Jack, this is also the same woman who has no problem going to Victor.
Mm-hmm.
If it means something happens to you, happens to your family, happens to the Abbotts, happens to Jabot, she don't care.
Mm-mm.
But you gonna walk on eggshells for her?
Mm-hmm.
That's and you know what? The Newmans also kind of do that with her too. Like, oh, we don't want anything to happen to Lily. Even Victor's like, I don't want Lily to lose that company. I think he has a whole other motive. I think he's going to ensure that Lily gets the company, but with the contingency to basically give Kane his walking papers and give Nikki the seat as CEO. I think that's what's about to come. I don't see Billy getting this company, personally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Victor's intertwined in this whole business thing, he's not getting that.
But the thing
But that's
is
just
that
me.
Lily is playing too in the middle because while she was talking to Jack, Kane was talking to Victor. So I mean, my thing is that Jack, he is just, you try to accommodate, and that's what Diane was saying. You a softie. She said that. When it
Yeah, he
comes to
sure
you
is.
trying to cater to everybody,
Yeah, people
sometimes you
pleaser.
got to say no.
And he used to be a very ruthless person. They called him Smiling Jack because he would have smiled on your face and then stab you right in the back. That's who Jack used to be.
Well, not
With
anymore.
Brad Carlton and with Michael Baldwin. They were that was a dream team to go against Victor and the Newmans.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, he didn't soften, like,
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
I'm glad, like I say, Diane is putting a little fire up under him to say, look, you gonna have to say no sometime. You gonna have to let these people do their own, take care of their own problems. You can't cater to everybody. And Lily coming over there when he originally told her, no, I think I'm gonna stay out of this one. She should have said, okay, I understand, Jack. I mean, man, I wish, but hey, if you don't want to be a part of this, then fine. No, she want to guilt trip him. Same thing with Holden, cause she had a
Yeah.
conversation with Holden. Holden was Team Billy at one point, until she started talking. Why couldn't Holden choose for himself? What family? Cause she kept using the family term. The only family he has is you. Nate and Devon don't want to have nothing to do with that boy.
Yep. Exactly. And I don't think it's even Team Billy. It's Team Employment. He just
Right.
wants a
He
real
want a
job.
job.
So he don't care who he gets it from. And he made a very valid point. It's like, why should I be loyal to somebody who majority of the people in that family don't even care for me?
Exactly.
And that's true. And then Kane has him do gopher jobs like he did when Kane had his business. Mm-hmm. So he has every right to weigh the options, and then she's like, you need to choose your family. You need to either pick a side. You need to stay there. And he's like, okay, fine, I'm on your side, whatever. That's the attitude he kind of gave with it. But I don't think Lily or Billy is really going to end up with this company. I think Lily's going to win this little battle, but Victor's going to win the war, and he's going to get back chancellor for Nikki. I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Because otherwise, why incorporate Victor into this?
Yep. So then we had Sally was away to see Coco, got back early, and see this whole conversation between Billy and Audra.
Can you guys see the chemistry?
Yes, yeah. Well, again, Audra is like one of those characters we always talk about that has chemistry with a lot of people.
Yeah. I can see the writing on the wall with this. Because she's the type, like I was saying earlier, to kind of gas a man up, feed that ego, saying like, oh, you can do this. Don't listen to anybody. I believe in you. And somebody like Billy will eat all of that up. because he know he's not going to get that from Sally at all.
Well, I gotta say, she was pretty calm because she listened to him and heard him out. Sally did. And she was like, when you first started talking, I thought this was your obsession again. But when you started laying out what actually is really going on, she didn't give him a hard time.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Because she flip flopped too.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot.
true. Mm-hmm. Only thing I gotta say about the Billy situation is because a lot of people on the show is saying that, Billy should be happy in the place that he in. He's getting married and a child on the way. Yeah, but he don't have a job. So
That's
even
his
if
own
it
fault.
wasn't about the whole Chancellor thing, the man, at least he's doing more than Daniel. He want to work.
You know what? That is a great comparison. I will give Billy credit. He's at least trying to get a job. What is Daniel doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know who said it in the dialogue. I think it was Danny who said that what's that girl's name? Lucy and Daniel. They went to a concert, and I'm like, so Lucy basically paid for that concert. She paid for the airfare. She paid for the hotel. She paid for everything. Mm-hmm. So he's really riding the coattails of his daughter to go about his life because he's not paying not 1 cent a bill, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
At least Billy, he got his own place. He's trying to keep a job. Even though I don't feel that he's earned or deserved Chancellor, he had his own company and he chose not to do anything with it. So I can't say that he didn't want to have a job. He had one. He was obsessed with Chancellor. That's his own fault. He could have had his own. And it was funded by both his brother and his mother at one point. So, but in comparison to Daniel, at least he's doing far more than he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing because she's obviously running 2 companies that's now merged into one. And, yes, he's her fiance and about to have another kid, but obviously he wants some sort of purpose. So, but we'll see where that goes. All right, did we
really,
cover
Gail?
everything?
Yeah, I was looking at the comments. Gail said Daniel will work at the shadow room. When?
Who?
I would love to see that episode. Daniel. She said he'll work at the shadow room. That's what we're hoping for. Any type of job.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop letting Lucy pay all the bills and pay all your airfare and your food bills and everything. Paying the cell phone bill, everything. He ain't paying nothing. She doing her babysitting job for Devon and Abby, and that's a good check because these are billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So she paying all the bills. Because what is he doing? He could at least get the bar job, be a bartender over at the shower room, something.
I agree.
His daughter giving him a whole allowance.
Mm-hmm. All right, you ready to move on to bowl?
Yes, ma'am. That was perfect timing.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to stay right on the top of the hour. It's 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock y'all time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, pretty much this week, coming off of the whole thing with Sheila over in Monaco, Steffi got back home drunk because she left Finn, took off her ring, threw it at him. On the flip side, Carter, his wife, told him she didn't want to be with him anymore. She going back to her family over in Europe. He got drunk. She came to the office instead of going home. And then ran into another drunk person, meaning Carter. And, of course, obviously, they hit it in the sheets. On the couch, I say. Not even in the sheets, in the couch.
No,
on the desk. Now, this is the aftermath of this, where we had Finn begging for forgiveness. Um, we also had Daphne come back, change her mind, and say, I can't leave my husband. You are my family. And two people are trying to fight on keeping a secret.
Whew. There's a whole lot going on.
Mm-hmm. All right, where you want to start on that?
We'll go for the beginning of the week. The placement of the underwear was what got me. Because someone on social media pointed it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's over by the desk. They got it over on the desk. I'm like, you know what? That's a valid point. It was just the fact that she ran to the house. At least she showered. That man did not shower. And I'm like, your wife is coming. She's all up in this man's face. I'm like, he didn't brush his teeth. He had a hold of the woman's stuff in his breath. And you talking to your wife, and she's just all around his face, around his beard, telling what's there. Like, they didn't disinfect the desk or nothing, the couch or nothing. She ran to the house. She took a shower. And the guilt is all over that girl's face.
Mm-hmm.
All over that face. And she needs to really sit with that guilt. Both of them, they walk this tightrope of sabotage. Both of them. Steffi now has cheated on Finn twice.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely will be pregnant again. And Carter is the man who will sleep with everybody's girl on the show. And he is forever a cheater. He has cheated on majority of the women that he's been with. Except for Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty much it. He can't help himself. And then he also walks his tightrope when it comes to his job, too. This man about to lose his job.
Yeah, my thing was Finn. I mean, and I knew because earlier in the week, they were trying to make it look like Steph was about to tell him the truth. And I was like, it's not going to happen. Either she's going to hesitate or Finn is going to shut the conversation down. And what happened? Finn cut the conversation down, trying to take ownership and accountability for all of it.
I'm like, this man.
And I'm like, Finn, shut up. She's trying to tell you something. And then when it finally come out, you couldn't tell me, oh, I tried to, but you know.
Yeah. At this point, you might as well just write a letter, Steffi. I was so disappointed with him. Like, she left you basically for no reason, in my opinion. She took her ring off and she left the whole country. Keep in mind, this man traveled 16 hours to go be with this girl, only for her to hop on a plane and leave within an hour, if not longer. So the fact that every time she runs from Finn, she puts herself in a predicament.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. She has yet to learn her lesson. Only difference now is like she's endangering of her losing her own marriage because of her own actions.
Yeah.
There's no Sheila. There's no Luna. You decided to spread it wide on a desk at your job for your COO, and then pass out on the couch and trying to hurry up, put your drawers on that was all over the floor and try to rush out of there. And then now you're just sitting there with all the guilt of what you did.
Here's my thing is they knew what exactly they were doing. I mean, granted they were drunk, but they knew what they were doing because they locked the door.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You locked the
I'm not
door. So, I mean, it's one thing to stumble in and you just doing whatever because you don't know what's happening around your surroundings. You know that if anybody walked in that door and saw y'all, it was going to be a whole problem. Whether it was Daphne, Finn, Ridge, I don't know, Eric, Donna, whoever could walk up in that office, even RJ and Electra, well, you know it would be a whole problem. Y'all lock the door, which means y'all knew what y'all were doing at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they made great use of that office space. I can only imagine. Because actually, there was a scene where Carter was trying to clean up the big old desk. So it wasn't just Eric's desk. It was that big old desk where they had their meetings. They were trying to clean that up.
Mm-hmm. A table.
Yeah. I'm like, so y'all went from the table, from the desk, and then to the couch. Y'all made great use of that room.
Oh, did you see what David Hall said, girl?
What did he say? He's been cutting up in this chat room. Hey, David. So this time when Steffi ran, she ran into.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness! And then he said something earlier. He said that Carter wanted to swear the smell of Steffi on his beard or something.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this man didn't take a shower. He threw on his clothes, and his wife came into the room. And here's my thing: is you're Daphne Rose. They call you the nose. You didn't smell different aromas
in that office, because remember the door was closed. So
alcohol.
What you
even
say?
If it wasn't that, I said even if it wasn't that, he'd been drinking all night, so she couldn't smell alcohol.
Right,
and
both of them.
Like, yeah. Well, Steffi came back. She had already went home, taking a shower and all that. But Carter, hadn't gone home, so she should have at least smelled the alcohol all over him and been like, "Well, dang, what happened to you last night?"
Right.
And she kept hugging him, and I'm like, "You're the nose. You didn't smell another woman's perfume." I'm trying to keep this as PG as I can, but you don't smell a whole other woman on your husband. His beard, nose hairs, his chest, nothing, and you're the nose. Mm-hmm. I can't. I felt so bad for Daphne. I was like, please don't kiss him. Please don't kiss him. Like, don't kiss this man. That would be an insult to injury for that woman. But, she came back. She's like, look, I lost my mind. I'm just very depressed. I'm paraphrasing y'all. But basically, she just came back and look, I lost my mind. I want my husband back. I know better. I just need a minute to cool off. I was very emotional. And you're my family. I love you. And I don't want to leave you. You're my husband. And yada, 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 yada.
Took that man less than 24 hours.
Not even 24 hours. I would say like 12.
That's why I said less than 24 hours.
Yes. I mean,
less than 12. I see what you're saying.
I mean, y'all just, and on top of that, the professionalism. You're the COO and you're getting with the CEO. Y'all just drunk and plastered at work where somebody can see you. You guys already have a negative image as it is.
Right. That's what I was just going to say. They already got enough drama going on over there, and then y'all want to, yeah.
All it takes is just a picture just to see them in the office getting drunk. And on top of there's security cameras. So Steffi walking to her job drunk, that's just not a good look.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. The car didn't drive her up to the CEO office. You had to drag yourself in the building through the front desk, up the elevator or wherever you had to go into that office. So, I mean, like you said, cameras, the night watch people. Somebody had to see you coming up in there that inebriated.
Yeah. I mean, the smell of alcohol would have poured out the pores as they were, doing the do, all in that office. I mean, it's just unprofessional. And then you already create the suspicion because the cleaners noticed the door was locked. They're trying to do their jobs. So they would also account for the fact, like, oh, somebody was in that office, the door was locked, we couldn't get in to do our jobs. So now you got this creates more questions than not, and then you don't know who's looking at you in a security camera. It's just messy and unfortunate for Finn and for Daphne. Like, Steffi and Carter need to take this L. They are trash for what they did.
Yep. So the other part of this is now that they realize what they've done, both of them have had conversations with their partners and decided, or their spouses, and decided to move on from this. However, Carter wants Steffi to keep quiet. Steffi don't want to keep quiet. She won't tell her husband. We don't keep secrets from each other. And one thing that's interesting about what Steffi said is that I know we can get past this. Yeah, because your husband's a simp. Of course, he's definitely going to try to get past this. However,
She's working on that.
Carter was like, but yeah, Finn and you might get past this, but Daphne ain't finna let me get past this.
Yeah, she gonna cuss him out in French.
And especially since that's her best friend too.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other part too. We were talking about this, Keish. That's your only friend, Steffi, that you've ever had on this show. You're one and only friend in almost 20 years, and you do this to this girl.
Okay, so let's play this out a little bit because here's my thing. There must have been some suppressed attraction somewhere because you don't just randomly, even inebriated, just sleep with somebody. I mean, I could be wrong, but somewhere along this, what made you that comfortable? Because you knew you locked the door, that you were sleeping with the COO and the CEO.
That's my annoyance with this whole setup is we've never had a moment of Carter and Steffi even looking at each other in some type of I'm attracted to this individual way. There's not been a single moment in their history that they've done this. So that alone tells you that this whole thing it happened because what does Bold do best? They will make stupid things happen to push a particular plot. And they had this happen for the sole purpose of giving Carter a kid. Because even now, like, you would even think that, okay, after this happened, maybe Carter and Steffi would be having some type of internal dialogue or with each other,
like they're doing with Victoria and Kyle.
Yeah, like, I've I had feelings for you before, but I just, kept them to myself because you were entangled with Liam so much, or, whatever Carter had going on, or, something like that. And they're not even doing that. They're both like, I don't want to lose my wife. I don't want to lose my husband. Carter's like, I want to start a family with Daphne. And they haven't given one hint of, oh, now I might be developing feelings for this person. So it was simply just to carry out this storyline of Steffi once again having another. I don't even know that it would be a who's. I guess they could make it a who's the daddy storyline, but we haven't seen her and Finn. Like, I feel like when they do that, they usually have the individual do a love scene with both people. But whatever the case, clearly this was to push the plot of Carter having a child, a Forrester child, without actually making them a couple. Unless they change their minds at some point down the line, and Steffi is pregnant. Her and Carter develop feelings for each other because they're bonding over having a child together. Like they could always turn it in that direction, but it's like, really, these two characters have been on screen together for 15 years. Not a single romantic incident has happened, and then you have them have a one night stand,
Right.
and that's where we're starting from.
Yeah. I think they will do the who's the daddy thing because off screen she could have been intimate with her husband prior to going to Monaco. And let's say that Steffi and Finn decided to make up for, the stuff that happens and trying to get things on track. They could still sleep together. The time frame, it's a matter of conception because she could still be intimate with her husband. It could have been prior to Monaco or after the stuff that she had with Carter. It's just, how Brad Bell is going to play it. But you have Carter telling Steffi, no, we need to keep quiet about this. No one needs to know. But I'm like, sir, you didn't use any protection. What happens if she is pregnant? How are you going to play that off unless y'all both are going to play it off like this is Finn's up into the delivery room?
Which that would be ridiculous.
Well, it'll be what that video you put in the chat, Bree, with Amber and Liam.
So if anybody remembers, Amber Moore, she had slept with Liam. So she was thinking she's going to have a Spencer baby. Meanwhile, she had also slept with one of Hope's exes, Oliver, and Carter's brother, Marcus. Long story short, Marcus is the father. So when they're in the delivery room, the mom is like, oh, I didn't realize the baby was a little bit darker than expected. Like, there was no need to do a DNA test from that point. Everybody, like, Amber is just looking around, just like, oh, Lord. And even Liam in Dollar Bill was like, oh, okay. All right. And then Liam's like, is this my child? You can tell that's not your child, sir. What do you mean? It was funny. So I wonder if they're playing off that particular storyline because Brad Bell said he's kind of leaning towards, I guess, repeating certain things because they're having Dylan move like Steffi, Electra moving like Hope now. So they're trying to refurbish certain storylines. I wouldn't put it past them to kind of redo that.
They would have to completely dumb both Steffi and Carter down if they did that. If they both decided to try to wait until she gave birth, or I don't know, maybe she tries to get a paternity test done like she did with Bill, and the test is effed up, where she thinks it's Finn's, but when she gives birth, it ends up being Carter's because they got the test wrong. I guess they could do it that way. But I have a hard time believing if she's struggling this hard already with keeping this secret from him, once she finds out she's pregnant, I don't think they're going to try to continue to keep it a secret until she finds out who the father is. I think she's going to crack before that.
That's if Finn allows her to say anything. Because she tried to be honest with this man, but he's like, no, it's my fault, Steffi. You did nothing wrong. You had every right to leave me for no reason. It's okay. It's fine. So I don't see Steffi getting a word in edgewise. He's just going to just be on his apology tour, throughout her entire pregnancy. And he's going to think the baby is his. Because once again, she could have been intimate with him prior to Monaco or after she slept with Carter, and he still would kind of fit in that time frame.
Yeah, this is.
So she would just automatically assume, like, okay, the baby's Finn's, and it also gives her a reason to keep the secret too. And Carter be like, oh, you're having Finn's child. There's no reason for it to be by.
See, I think at that point, because Carter wants a child so bad that he 1000% would want to be aware of whether or not that's his kid.
Yeah.
I don't think he would just let it go that easy and say, "Oh, you're probably having Finn's kid." I think at that point he would be like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to have I could possibly be a dad. Oh, screw this secret."
Hey, 1 second, you guys. Jenna said that she's in the hospital. Are you okay? I hope you feel better, Jenna.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay, girly.
Yeah, because I was saying the prayers for Jenna. Hopefully you're okay. We're on to Bull. We finished wrapping up with YNR, but feel better first and catch everything on the replay.
Oh, yeah, she says she's in the hospital. Yeah, okay. Send up prayers. Hopefully, Jenna, you get well soon and everything is okay. So, oh, she said I'm getting better. Okay, good, good, good.
Good. That's good to hear.
Gotcha. All right.
So I'm kind of hoping that they don't drag it out because I want Finn and Daphne. I would love for them to actually have them be angry at Steffi and Carter. Like I need that part of the drama to play out. I don't want them to drag the secret out. So I'm hoping whatever this Friday spoiler is about their secret comes to a head, that either somebody cracks or somebody knows what happened. Like I still have the theory that Sheila followed her from the airport because she saw she was drunk and she saw her in Carter and took a picture or video or something.
Yeah, we on the same page with that. Because Sheila is quiet all of a sudden. We don't, ever since we saw her on the beach, we haven't seen nothing regarding Sheila at all.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Like, this is too quiet for Sheila.
Well, I mean, there is a spoiler about her trying to settle into her new life without Deacon. Whatever that means, if she is not happy or, I mean, being that Finn is not talking to her, basically she has nobody at this point. But I just have a feeling because we still got to come off of that. I don't know. We might have had a little bit of dialogue about that last week. We did because before Steffi came home, um, and her mom was trying to figure out what happened to her. She had a conversation with Deacon, and Deacon was like, "Dang, did I make a mistake by leaving my marriage with Sheila? Why would you figure that would be a mistake unless you really didn't want to leave?"
Exactly.
That statement didn't make sense to me because if you really was not wanting to be with your wife, you go through a whole divorce, you wouldn't be saying something. What do you mean I made a mistake of leaving Sheila?
And that, so through that whole storyline of Deacon and Taylor, like the whole won't they get together or whatever, when he would have conversations with his kids, it was always about how Taylor, could be a better partner for him. Taylor could be this, Taylor could be that. And it's like, your divorce shouldn't be about what Taylor can be for you. It should be, regardless of if Taylor is there or not, you don't want to be with Sheila.
Right.
Like that was your first mistake. So now he's talking about, well, did I make a mistake? Well, you probably did if you were still in love with Sheila.
Right.
And you were just picking a woman over the other because you thought the other might be better, but you still had feelings for your wife. Like that doesn't make sense. And now look at you.
Yeah. And see, that's why I honestly think that, because I think that was a gut punch to him when he proposed, and Taylor was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good with what we got going on right now." And I'm assuming that Deacon must have thought in his head that, "Oh, I know she ready to be married," because she was so gung ho about marrying Ridge. That's the key word. She wanted to marry Ridge. She don't want to marry you.
Yep. Exactly.
And their history is completely different.
Right.
Than her and Deacon. It's like, this is your first time dating each other. You don't have the same history that she and Rich have, so you couldn't expect her to want the same thing with you that she wanted with him. At least not in the span of 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And you just getting a divorce.
Exactly. Exactly, but I mean, the ink on the divorce papers aren't even dry, and he got on one knee, and she looking like, no, this is nice, but yeah, I think I want to. And that's when well, did I make a mistake by leaving Sheila? Well, if you got to ask that question, maybe you did.
Yeah, he left his wife for absolutely no reason. Put her through all of this for no reason.
Do y'all
And it
think they're
had
gonna
not.
get back together?
Yes, I truly do. Because his big right was, oh, I can't bring Sheila around the grandkids, and I have to go out and see my grandkids and my children secretly, and my kids have an issue with this. He didn't care about any of the grandkids or the children when he got Sheila out of jail. He was perfectly happy, sucking on them toes and everything. He was happy.
Yeah, it's obvious that they used that breakup to spark the chain of events that happened, because it was a flimsy excuse as to why he was mad at her in the first place with the whole Luna thing. Is what kicked it off.
Yep.
So
Yeah, because he was like, you kept the secret from me. Okay, but Lee was the perpetrator of all of this. He wasn't mad at her.
And how about the secrets that you've been keeping from your wife? And you sneaking around and dating a whole other woman while you're married.
Right.
And then you wanted to perfect your cheating so Sheila didn't know.
He was telling Taylor that he's in love with her and all this other kind of stuff when they were sneaking and creeping. No, you was in love with all of the adrenaline rush of being a creeper. Y'all wanted to creep, 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 and sneak, 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 and it's exciting. Now you want to settle in a marriage, and she like, no, I don't want to get married, and now you feeling butthurt about that.
Yeah, and she loved the fact that a man was all over her after Ridge.
Right.
He wanted her. He was complimenting her. This is a rebound relationship for her. And she recognizes that. She's like, I'm not going to marry no rebound. And then on top of that, she see what you did to your last wife.
Yeah.
So why would she want to be in a position to be the main woman in your life after what you did to the last woman?
Mm-hmm.
You were just fun and games and sneaking around. Like, because notice, she's still living over at Steffi's house.
Well, here's the thing about that, Bree, because Ridge was the exact same way, and she kept going back. So it's more about her writing. I don't think she's really into him like that. I think she enjoyed the fun of it all, but she ain't really into him like that, because that same behavior that you're talking about, that Ridge been flip flopping between her and Brooke forever, and she was willing, ready, even had a whole broken heart syndrome over somebody who turned around and went back to Brooke, not once but twice in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And she keeps signing up for that. So I just don't think she's in the Deacon like that. I think she thinks this is fun, but she don't see him the same way that she see Ridge.
Yeah, she proposed to Ridge.
Yes, she did.
She made it very clear that that's the man that she wanted. If Ridge had proposed to her in Steffi's house, she would have already had the flower girls, the venue, everything. She would have married him that day.
Yep, I agree. Yes, ma'am. So I think Deacon is probably, in my opinion, he might start dialing it back. You know what I mean? And end up right back over there. Oh, I miss you, Sheila. I made a mistake. I love you, and it was just I was going through something at that time, and I was mad at you. Yeah, whatever.
She better make him beg for it.
So
that's the least he could do.
All right, we gotta talk about these kids.
These children.
These young adults.
The Disney Channel. All right. I don't even know where to begin because last week I was so mad at Will.
Oh,
we knew
man.
RJ was always gonna simp for this girl. We knew that. But Will, I'm like, why do you even care? Why? So you getting plastered drunk because of her?
Right.
You're taking off of work for her. You just started working with your family, and now you want to just like slack off because you're trying to get over your feelings for her. She not doing that for you. She about to start a whole clothing line now. She's doing things.
That girl is a whole hypocrite. We also had the stuff that went on in the office with the slap. The slap was last week where Electra slapped Dylan, for being a cuddle buddy with her.
She had the nerve to say, like, my name is on the front of that building.
I signed my name, I signed your paychecks, or whatever she was saying.
She had a lot of gall. I'm like, okay, so this is the real Electra. Thank you for showing your face. But you talking about you're a force, or your name is on the building, but when the coup happened, where were you at?
Neutral.
You weren't standing by your family. You weren't standing by the Foresters.
Nope.
But because now the Foresters, they're caping for you, Eric, Ridge, all of them, RJ. She just sit in the background, and now she's a Forester. Now her name's on the building. Now if she's Electra Forester, she wants you gone. That's it. The nerve of her.
Right.
The nerve of her. But once again, she got more leverage than Hope ever did.
Yeah,
because she has the last name.
Yeah, but that's where Dylan is just being a little too passive for me, and I don't. She was talking real crazy today. I'm like, why you ain't say that stuff to her face, but you telling that to Will.
That's what I'm saying.
She's sitting up there talking about, Electra will never be this way, and that's my ex friend, and I'm like, say that stuff to her face. Maybe that's what Will had to do in today's conversation. But you let this girl slap you. I think that's a conversation you need to have with HR. I don't care if she is a Forester. That make it worse.
Exactly. Like, if anything, vie for her job. She had no right putting her hands on it. And this is the part with the Foresters. They are quick to put hands on people.
Exactly.
Every last one of them now. So and then try to like hide their hands and then place blame on the person they assaulted. Like the Foresters, they are down bad. But anyway, with Electra, I'm like, Dylan, y'all were never friends.
Nope.
You never looked at her as a friend. You never treated her as a friend. You wanted to keep this girl close in proximity. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And Dylan checkmate and said, look, we can be friends or not, but I'm going to go after my man. Right. He's no longer yours. You didn't left him 11 times. Look, that's my man now. I'm going to go after him. And if you want to like play with my job, then we'll see about that.
I guess the crazy thing is Electra is so entitled that even post breakup, she feels that she can control the people around her. That includes Dylan, that includes Will. Will isn't supposed to date because she's still technically in love with him, but she don't want to be in a relationship with him. So is he not supposed to move on with his life?
If I was Will, I'd be like, she can think what she wants. I'm going to move how I'm going to move. I'm a billionaire son. I have plenty of options.
But that's
the part with Will. Like, you don't have to keep chasing after this girl.
Mm-mm.
Like, you're a billionaire son. You could have these women literally throwing themselves at this man. He don't have to chase for nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
And so, I mean, she's sitting up there making it look like, well, okay, let me fix that. Will is well, last week he was just allowing her to do that, and he kept begging. His mom was trying to be like, "You don't need to be with Dylan. You need to focus on fixing your relationship with Electra." I don't understand, and I know we're gonna get more Katie this week. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't understand how you're okay with this girl treating your son like this. And there's no evidence that Dylan has done anything horrible at all to this man. But there's lots of evidence of how this girl keep walking out on him with his cousin nonetheless, kissing his cousin, and even Dylan brought that to Katie's attention, and she just blew past that. That would have been enough for
Mm-hmm.
me right there. If it was
Yeah.
told to me that, the girl that my son is involved with is kissing my nephew, I'm going to have a problem with that.
Or better yet, this is the same girl who felt that she is entitled to know what's going on with your business
Right.
and that she is more important than you and what you expect out of your son. That would have got me because you are not going to be above my son. You're not a wife, for one. And two, my son, he works for me. We have a contractual agreement. Anything he shares with you is problematic. But you feel you're entitled to the information, and then the nerve of this girl to say today, well, I couldn't keep this one secret, but he just keeps lying to me. The nerve. So he couldn't keep that secret about what was going on at his job.
Well, here's the interesting thing about Katie, where she's disillusioned with this. She thinks that this breakup is all about Dylan. No, the breakup was about you and your company. That's what she was pissed off about. The last time that she walked out on this guy was because of the fact that he kept that secret about the jewelry line and he didn't tell her. And the Foresters were upset, so they told her to cut ties with him permanently. But Katie is making it look like Dylan was the undermining cause to the breakup. And I'm like, no, it was because your son wouldn't leak your company's secrets out to the Foresters. That's why this is a break. This last breakup has happened.
Yeah. And it's like Katie's not listening to her son at all. It was
Mm-mm.
the same thing that happened with the stuff with Luna. She cherry picks off of stuff, and then at the last minute want to be mama bear. And the energy that she's giving Dylan is so unwarranted because there's plenty of women that throw themselves at this boy. And he considers Dylan a friend. He's also a willing participant, which he keeps telling his
Right.
mother.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, Katie's
overboard,
Yep.
deranged.
Katie's attitude has been very nasty towards her for no
And it's
reason. Like
unwarranted.
she's this, yeah, it's literally she's pretty much stereotyping her as a gold digger and a user because of her background. That's literally the only reason why she is suspicious of her is because Dylan is poor.
And she's conflating because all Dylan was like, "Oh, I admire you guys. I seen you in the magazines and Eye on Fashion." And she took that information and made it look like she had some sinister plan to try to get
Yeah,
involved with trying to get a rich man. That ain't
like
no.
she's been studying their family or something.
Exactly. And Dylan has, from the time she came to the show on as Miss Dylan, Hayes' art teacher with the whole Luna situation, she has never exhibited any of that.
I mean,
Yeah.
RJ was also in her proximity. Like if she wanted a rich man, she had access to rich men.
Exactly.
I mean, and the girl
So
was eating out the garbage can. Most time with gold diggers, they tend to have plans. They have a plan on how they're going to infiltrate somebody's life so they can get to the bag. She was eating out of garbage cans.
I mean, unless she's just terrible at this,
Right.
terrible at being a gold digger. I mean, and it's obvious they're about to flip this girl's story.
I hope not.
Which
God,
annoys
I
me.
hope
I
not.
hate that they're doing that. I feel like they 1000% are going to do it because they're bringing her mom on, and Katie and Electra have to be right about Dylan, so they are definitely going to flip that.
They are, and they've been planting seeds within the dialogue for the past couple of weeks. Even Electra changed her tune about her own friend, or not her, saying her friend, but saying like, "Oh, you came into town trying to go after these rich men," and
yeah.
I'm like, you were the main person who said like, "Oh, my friend, she's going to college. She lost her job. She's dealing with the stuff with Luna." It's like all of a sudden, we as the viewers are supposed to just forget that was part of the dialogue. Now that she is she's now a gold digger. All of a sudden.
Well, here's the thing: unless Sydney Bullock is like Luna, who can flip into a whole different character mind state, which is possible. We don't know. That's going to be a hard for her to shift so fast, coming off of this sweet, soft, timid, let anybody talk to her any kind of way, stand off to wait till the relationship is over with Will and Electra. Because they shared a kiss, but so did RJ and Electra. So it's pretty much a wash there. But it's like, how you really gonna flip this whole character on its head if y'all take her down the villain route, which sucks because there's a lot of people that like her.
Yeah, I don't know that they would necessarily make her a villain to that extent, but I could see them making her, because they want Katie, they'll want Katie and Electra to be right. I could see them giving her some type of like ulterior motive or something like that, or have her start talking about money or something that gives her has her portraying a gold digger. I don't feel like that makes her a villain. It just makes her an opportunist and somebody who doesn't have like the best of intentions.
And that's the thing, though. They've already villainized this girl when she was homeless. They did. Like, for several months now, if you guys go on social media and like Reddit and all these other places, they have always villainized Dylan. And no matter what Electra has done, there's a fan base who refuses to let Electra take any accountability for her actions. None. So, I feel like there's like a fine line between a gold digger and an opportunist. Amber Moore was a gold digger. She didn't care who she got the money from. She got it.
Yeah, and exactly.
And when it came to Brooke Logan was an opportunist. Like how you brought up before, like research and like studying the family. That's exactly what she did when it came to the Forresters. Exactly what she did when she first came onto the show.
I'll give Amber this, though. I think she did actually have feelings for Liam because her Raymond, I think was his name, the character that Usher played, he was also wealthy. It just wasn't who she wanted.
You mean Rick?
No, when she got pregnant, always. No, that was Marcus's baby. But Marcus had money because he was a Forrester. But wasn't there at one point, wasn't she involved with that Raymond character?
Yeah, that's when she was with Rick. That was like early on, like when her early 20s, when Usher came on. And Rick was like fresh out of high school.
And wasn't there something that happened between them where she still chose, I guess she wanted to be Rick over the Raymond guy or something like that?
Yeah.
She was like, it's like it was, her desperation was to be part of the Forrester family.
Yeah.
Regardless of, even if she had a man on the other side with money, they weren't a Forrester.
Yeah. She wanted that name. so badly, just like Brooke did. But Amber was a gold digger. There was a lot of planning and strategy with her mother Tawny, and like paying off like lab tests, if a DNA tests, and all sorts of different things. And like the storyline with Deke, she was raising her cousin's baby to pass it off as it was Rick, so she can still be a part of that family. So there's just, what we're saying is like there's layers to what a gold digger is and what an opportunist. Dylan's not either one of those.
Right. To date, she has not been one.
Yeah. Now they're going to obviously flip this, which is unfortunate. Poppy was a gold digger.
Yeah, so was Luna. Luna was first trying to get with Bill, and then she turned around and tried to get with Will. Try to get pregnant.
Yeah.
When she had RJ. She had RJ and Zende fighting over her.
Right.
And for whatever reason, that wasn't good enough.
They weren't that good in bed, I guess.
But
she said Zende was good, but she said RJ was at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but going back to this whole thing, I mean, I'm just glad that at this point, it looks like from today's episode, Will is like, because he stood his ground and she looked like a deer in headlights as if she was shocked. And that's what happens when you've allowed for so long for somebody to treat you that way. The moment you stop or say no or set a boundary or say, you know what, I'm done with this, then it's like, oh, you're not going to continue to let me do this to you? No. And I was so proud of that boy today. I was like, that's how you do it.
You almost shed a tear. Like finally he had the epiphany and he walked off. Like I was so proud of him, and the lecturer was stuck on him. She didn't know what to say.
The look in her face, though.
Yep. Go hang out with your cuddle buddy. He did more than that. He took your advice. He did way more than that. And she can't say nothing else. Talking about we need to go our separate ways. Y'all broke up a month ago.
Yeah, she said we need to live separate lives. That's okay, so part of the reason is because she really truly don't want to cut this dude off. Her family is telling her to do so.
I mean, just you're either going to woman up and do what you want to do, but you yourself are going to still find a reason to want to leave him. Because even prior to the stuff going on with the Forsters and the Spencers, you were leaving him because he took in your homeless friend that you invited into his house.
Yeah, there was always a reason why she was mad.
She was always mad. It was annoying to some point because she always had her lip out. And then that stupid letter and Ivy and, that whole thing when you could have just went over there and said what you said or send the boy a text message. I mean, it was annoying.
She would never give Will the benefit of the doubt. She would, and even the stuff that happened with the whole jewelry line and he going to work over at his family's company, and the fact that he didn't tell her about the Hope Diamond, Hope working over there, and that there was a jewelry line. That's the reason why she walked out the last time.
Exactly.
Like it was on her. And then and then in today's dialogue saying like, I couldn't keep this one secret from Will about the fashion line, but he's been telling me lie after lie. Girl, she don't deserve, she got the right man that she's with right now, RJ. He don't care about any accountability. He going to sell her a dream. And he's just, they are more of a perfect match than I realized. And she said, oh, you're my only friend left. I'm surprised correction. That doesn't surprise me. She can't keep a friend because she's so entitled. And she wants to,
and whiny.
And annoying and wants to control the narrative so much. Yeah. She's exhausting.
So another thing we're going to quickly talk about too is that new fashion line that RJ is creating for her. And now that really is blowing that head up. I mean, she was like, "Oh my God, the, I have a jewelry line and now a clothing line." Yeah.
Yeah. And this is supposed to save Forrester. So Forrester is down bad
Yeah.
to where it takes a youth line. This is a couture house.
Right.
And now it's going to take a youth line to help out this company all of a sudden.
Right.
That is pitiful.
Yep.
That is terrible. They are down really bad. And it all started with Eric, the founder.
Yep.
But nobody wants to say anything, and he got nothing but messy situations and scandals and CEOs and COOs sleeping with each other, and all the fighting and this. It's a mess.
The other thing too is I'm wondering, and obviously, if I was Zende, I would be upset. That dude was the next in line to have his own fashion line. And the way this is looking, I mean, because remember when RJ, the other RJ, came on the scene, Zende had a problem with that then. Now with Hopeton jump ship, which RJ give her zero accountability. All he said, "Oh well, Hope left us, but y'all ain't mad at her." Anyway,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, the thing is that with all of that going on, it's just like I don't know. It's just how they wrote this is just weird to me because, like you said, first of all, they're not making any money. They got all these issues going on over there. And then now we got a situation with this whole thing with whether or not Zende, because that's more problems. Because Zende is going to think like, well, wait a minute, shouldn't I be the lead designer, not you? Because it's my turn.
I was expecting more of a different reaction with Zende, but I guess he's going to go along to get along.
I would want him to say something. Be like, wait a minute, when is it going to be my turn?
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to use all those clothes that were ready to go for Hope's line and pass them off as Electra's line. I would laugh, but it would make sense for them to do that.
Yeah, that would be crazy. And then, how to not, you guys in the chat, Dylan and Will's shower scene. So drop a hot or not. You know what? Let me do it like this. I'm going to do a poll. Go ahead, Bree.
Will is one of the freakiest boys on the show right now. He's just doing it right there on the porch, like he just did with Electra. He don't care about the neighbor seeing anybody just up and passing through. Because remember, there was people who would randomly shower at his house.
Mm-hmm.
So literally anybody can show up, and he didn't care. But it was hot. I'm like, okay. I mean, okay. So
hold on, I wanted to get it. I should have put the poll out first, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat, but I was like, okay. It was kind of hot. Then we get a little overcam of them in the shower, and he just slowly slipping things off, but that was pretty hot.
Let's see what we got. All right, the poll is in the chat, you guys. There we go. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Let's see. How many people in the chat, Bree?
Okay, we got 119 in the chat right now.
Okay, so at least can I get 60 people voting? Because it's 119 of you guys watching. That's 50%. Let me see if I can get 60 votes. I see 16. I want to get y'all engaged. Go ahead and get your votes in. Some of y'all already dropped comments into the chat. So, Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. What did
It
David
was.
say? I know David had to say something crazy. Let me see. I was trying to go through. All right, we got 23 votes. Let's
he
see.
said. He said. Now, no one doesn't want to use the whatchamacallit word around the Forester. How is Zende has been treated since he's gotten. Look, I agree with that. I feel like out of all the characters, I feel like Carter gets treated a whole lot better than Zende, and Zende is an actual Forester, adopted or not. I mean, Zende has always been consistent, whereas Carter is like hopped in and out of Forrester and made a lot of reckless decisions, and he still keeps his job because he's so close to Ridge. Meanwhile, Zende is Ridge's nephew, and we see how he's being treated there. So even Hope had more leeway and more privilege over Zende. I would just like, this is why I wish like some of the other Foresters were able to come onto the screen. Yeah. Like, we have yet to see Zende with his own mother since the character's been on the show.
I agree.
The last time we saw him with Kristen was when he was a little boy.
Wow.
So the fact that this man has gone through like a wedding and gone through all these different things, divorce, and the way he's being treated over at Forrester, bring back Kristen so she can cuss out her brother for how her son is being treated.
Yep.
Bring back actual Forresters to the screen.
All right. Let me end the poll because we did get at least 30 votes. I guess we got a bunch of shadow watchers. So, look like it turned out to be 73% thought that Will and Dylan were hot in the shower scene, and 27% says not. So,
I mean, even like a couple of weeks before where they were kissing and he lifted her up on the
counter.
Like, he look, Crew Morrow, he took a few notes from his daddy.
Right. And maybe even Thomas. So.
Okay. Yes.
So Sydney and Crew both are good at these type of scenes.
What you say?
Sydney and Crew both are good
at
these type of scenes. Especially Sydney.
Yes, she is.
Like the way that she eased into it and flirted with him, like she wasn't doing too much.
Well, people are calling that thirsty in the chat, so.
How is that thirsty? But he's a single man. Is she not allowed to put herself out there? And on top of that, he's reciprocating.
I'll say this. I wish that she wasn't as, like, I don't have a problem with her letting Will know how she feels. I do feel like, though, she is acting thirsty. Like, the man said that he's not over Electra, that he loves her, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why do you, don't put yourself in a position to be the rebound because you're that desperate to be with him. Listen to what he's saying. Give him some space. And she's putting herself in a position to get her heart broken is what she's doing. Because even though Will is reciprocating, he's reciprocating to the point of, yeah, I'm going to do this with you, but I'm still in love with Electra. And I don't know. I don't want her to be heartbroken, and that's where she's headed, in my opinion, unfortunately.
I mean, I can see that. The only part I don't like is when she keeps saying this, that she loves him and that he's in love. That's the only cringy part about this.
Right.
I think that it's just going to come with the territory with giving this boy status. He's a billionaire son. So there's going to be women who are going to throw themselves at him. It's a whole other like opportunity to be with a guy who is of that power, and he's a very good looking boy. So she's like, and he's in close proximity to her. Yeah, she's gonna shoot her shot.
Yeah.
I just don't like that I love you stuff.
Yes, and I think if she wasn't in love with him and she was like, you know what, cool, well, I can have fun too. Let's just have fun together, no strings attached. I'm not looking for anything serious either. If it was that kind of vibe with her,
right,
it wouldn't be as bad. But because she does love him and it's like she's trying to, it's almost like she has to convince him. Well, it's not almost. She has to convince this man to give her a chance. Like she's trying to convince him to give it a real chance, and it's like, oh, stop, don't do that.
I feel like the women over at Forrester, I feel like they were thirsty because every chance that they get, they were throwing themselves at him, even with the girlfriend. Whereas Dylan didn't really do that. And on top of that, this man was already opening up to her more than we've seen him with Electra. He was talking about his feelings about stuff that happened with Luna, about the pregnancy, stuff that happened to Electra. And I think it was like one of the episodes where she first moved in, right? So they have like this, they always had chemistry. I feel like it was always mutual. Granted, his feelings, he was still trying to get with Electra, fine, but he still had chemistry with this girl.
Oh yeah, the chemistry is there for sure. It's just her feelings aren't reciprocated. He's basically, and he told the last time that they were intimate, he was like, I don't feel about you the way you feel about me. I'm still in love with Electra. And she was like, it's okay. I don't care. And it's like, no, you do care because you are in love with him. And this man is literally telling you to your face that he doesn't feel about you the same way you feel about him. And so it's like she's taking whatever crumbs she can get from him. And I don't know. That part of it bothers me.
Um. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I see some comments. Amaya says that if she's a gold digger, then she doesn't love him. It's love bombing. And then I am unfiltered said because she lived with him, she had more exposure to him than the other women at Forrester Creations.
But she wasn't throwing herself at this man. Not like that. And
not until not the minute that him and Electra broke up that first time, she did throw herself at him. She was in his face kissing him the minute she found out that they broke up, and did it again the next time they broke up. So I do like that she respected the relationship up to the point when they finally broke up. But it's like the minute they did, she pounced on him. And it's like, girl, just take a beat. Like, he knows how you feel. You've already told him that you love him.
So is the expectation for Will to chase her?
No, I think
he doesn't have to chase her.
I think what Keisha's saying is that you want somebody who is not still stuck on somebody else while you're trying to pursue him. I mean, would I don't think not too many. I mean, not too. I can't speak for everybody, but I don't think too many women want to be with somebody knowing that they are in love with somebody else. Still, even if they are broken up, because you're gonna have to compete with that emotional attachment that they have. And for her,
I wish she would say. I wish she would say, like, this is how I feel. I need you to know that I feel this way about you. And when you're ready to move on from Electra, I'll be here. Maybe I won't be here. Maybe I will have moved on. But I want you to know that this is how I feel about you. That way you have that information and the ball's in your court or something like that. But she doesn't do that. She constantly pushes up on him. And it's like if you have to try to convince somebody to give you a chance, kind of like how Thomas used to do with Hope. It's like he had to convince her in every scene that they had to give him a real chance. It's like if you've got to do that with somebody, then it's not like they're not giving you what you need or what you should have. It should be reciprocal, and it's not.
If he was a regular guy, I would say that. he's a billionaire, so that's all I can say. He's not going. If she were to give this man space, and let's say he do move on, he's going to move on to whatever comes his way, because he does not have to chase. He don't. These women are going to throw themselves at him no matter what, and it's a matter of what option he has out the week. And she's like, "Look, I'm tired of sitting on the bench. I want to shoot my shot," and that's just, I think, with a lot of the kids now today, a lot of girls are kind of moving that way to where they're putting themselves out there, especially if there's a guy that they really like.
Well,
Is it the right way? I don't know, but that's just how they're moving now.
yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Obviously, they decide to do where they're going to go from here. Katie is going to obviously verbally attack her. What is Will going to say? Is he going to stand up for her, or he's going to be like, I know I need to fix my relationship with Electra. I need to fight for her. If he's still saying that, Dylan need to kick him to the curb.
That part, I agree with that part.
Because if he come back after this whole little shower situation, and then he's reversed right back to, oh, poor me, I'm missing Electra, I want her back, she's the love of my life, and all this, Dylan need to listen to all of it and be like, yeah, he ain't ready yet.
Common sense would say that, yes. But these are kids.
So, all right, we got to move on. I think we covered everything. It was a lot on that one.
Yeah,
all right. We got to go to Beyond the Gates. We still got the aftermath of what happened over on with Bill, and Haley is just trying to. She keep put that juice is just. It ain't take. He did go into cardiac arrest, and then obviously we saw what happened the previous week. Then she tried to take him out again by trying to give him a whole heart event by sleeping with him in that bed until Ashley came in and kicked her out. We had the whole situation with Andre and Heather. Heather also getting friendly with Danny. Eva trying to make sure her mama solidified things with Malone and stay away from Ted. And then it looks like there is a creeper over the phone because what's her name? Chelsea keep getting random calls and ain't nobody answering, and she tend to think, especially since it's the year anniversary of her situation with Allison, she's worried that Allison could be striking again. So where y'all want to start?
We can actually finish that, because I think that was like a small part of this week or last week. Mm-hmm. I do think I think Allison is a source of both Madison and Chelsea's issues, the lawsuit, and now with these calls, because we haven't heard anything from Jacob about Allison even still being in jail.
Yeah, we did. It was on today's episode.
Is she still in jail?
Mm-hmm. He called because Kat came in there and told him, about what was going on. And so to make her feel comfortable, Jacob decided to call the prison to verify where she was. And yeah, she's still in there on lockdown. They didn't find anything, so.
I don't believe that. Something's off with that.
Or it could be somebody that she knows, or it could, because remember, there's a lot of fans that was watching this. It could be one of the crazy fans that, like, what they call it, not mimic. What's the word? Copycat. Mm-hmm. It could be a copycat situation. So.
I can see that, but something tells me it's Allison pulling these strings. Because remember, Allison came for money.
Right, but they also said in there that they checked to see if there were phones that she had access to, and none of that was found. So that was toward the end of the episode. Did you see the whole thing?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. That's why.
Yeah, because I'm like, with the way that people are able to get phones and like iPads and everything in prison, from what I hear nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Uh, the fact that they went and they did all this checking, I don't believe that. I think it's going to turn and be like a flip, and it might end up being Allison, or it could very well be a copycat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or I actually had a thought that maybe it was that guy
Yeah,
that Allison was playing off to be her husband.
that's true. It could be him. It could be somebody outside of, the whole thing. So,
Yeah, but the only person who would be obsessed with this woman would be Allison to make all these random phone calls, because with the way that people process things nowadays, no one's going to remember the day that she was attacked like that. Like, you have to be completely demented.
yeah.
And with the way that this girl prioritizes social media, like, she would post other things, and, you know, the audience would be focused on something completely different, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So,
I got you.
so the only people who will remember are the people who were involved, or people who had cared about Chelsea. And the fact that we have not seen the person that is suing Madison is also eye-opening to me as well. They would have been on screen by now.
Maybe. I don't know with that whole storyline because they kind of moved away from it for a while and then they, brought it back in recently.
Yeah.
Um, and then that whole thing with Tomas and him trying to accept that doggone settlement and overstep Naomi and yeah, that was and he, that was crazy to me.
I'm so confused about why Tomas insists on pissing off Bill. This is like the third time that he's gotten into it with Naomi, and every time Bill tells him to back off, but he keeps doing it.
Right. I agree.
So, so is she overseeing just this case or the other cases in
Right.
his practice?
Well, it was originally just this case, but when he went into the hospital, then he told her to, go and check on things over at the office. And that's when Tomas was pretty upset because he's like, "You don't even work here. What are you doing here?" But it doesn't matter. It's the owner's daughter, and she's a licensed attorney. So, it'd be different if it was just another person trying to overstep boundaries. He told her to come in there and check on things while he was still in the hospital outside of outside of Madison's case. And Tomas is just not having it. He feels that he's being pushed aside. Well, that's what happens when you're an employee.
This this man has a constant issue with his ego. If his feelings are hurt, he got to try to get someone has to build him up to get his ego back. And in this particular case, he feels talking back at Naomi is going to help with his ego and make him feel bad. Why are you going after your boss's daughter? And she keeps telling you, I don't want to work over here. I'm just doing this for my dad until he gets back. I got my own law firm. Like, why are you so pressed so badly?
Yeah.
And even your girlfriend is like, that's my family. She's not going to take your job from you. You have nothing to worry about. But he's going to end up losing his own job. But oh well, I don't feel bad for tomorrow. Even Caroline was like, look, I can't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Right.
Like, all these people, like, you got people who could vouch for Naomi and say, like, yeah, we need to go ahead and get rid of Tomas.
Right.
But that other lawyer that was the original partner with Bill said, like, hey, Tommaso, you want to come over and work for us? I think that's eventually where he's going to be headed.
Well, he need to
I'm
go
hoping
some.
with.
Oh, go ahead, Keish.
I was just gonna say, I'm hoping whatever this the animosity between Tomas and Naomi carry over into his relationship with Kat. this this can be the reason they finally break up. Like, it just gets worse, and then eventually it affects his relationship with Kat, and then that's the reason she breaks up with him. Like, I need something to change with that relationship.
I would hope so, but if sleeping with her sister didn't do it, I doubt this lawsuit, this back and forth with Naomi will do it. Like, something traumatic would have to happen. Like, if he slept with Nicole, maybe she might want to leave him, but she's still trying to be with this man.
I mean, it could be a buildup of multiple things. It was that first, that he cheated on her with Eva, and then the whole marriage proposal thing, and now he tried to get her to spy on Naomi for him. Like, that right there she was like, that's my cousin. I'm not doing that.
Right.
And now this back and forth that he just, and it's him that keeps perpetuating this whole thing between him and Naomi, because he won't keep his mouth shut and just mind his business and take care of whatever Bill specifically asks him to take care of. So, I don't know. It could build up, and she could eventually say, you know what, you tripping.
Love, peace, light, that is correct. Tomas is power hungry. We knew that from the get-go, because he's always been an opportunist.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was always trying to hang on to Kat. Even with the stuff going back and forth with him and Eva, he chose a woman who had the status, the power, so he can social climb.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Bill was like, look, you need to solidify your relationship, it'll make you look good. He's been taking all of Bill's advice. And I don't even think that that's really genuine from this man when he interacts with Kat. Like, I feel like he is just playing his role so he can social climb and say, like, hey, I married a Dupree / Richardson, and, you know, I'm embedded within the family, so I'm not going anywhere. That's what I think when it comes to Tomas. This is an opportunist.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I mean, remember, Bill was the one that told him way back when that you need to kind of close ranks with Kat and become in a relationship to pretty much get yourself up the corporate ladder, because couples or married couples tend to look better. And he was like, okay. No, and that's why he originally rushed that whole thing together, and then when it didn't work, it flipped, and now she moving him in her house. So,
and my thing with Kat is she's very intuitive. She senses that, but she still chooses to be with him, and that's unfortunate.
well, sometimes emotion and logic don't rest in the same place. So,
and I'm like, why with him of all people? She's able to call everything out as it is, and she cannot do the same with Tomas, and he can't be that great in bed for you to forget all that.
Well, remember, he wasn't for a while.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
The thing that will always annoy me about Kat and Tomas is that she didn't start enjoying sex with him until after he cheated on her.
Actually, it was after he said, I love you to her in front of Eva. Then she gave him some that day, and she enjoyed herself.
Well, either way, it was after he cheated on her. That was the first time they had sex after he cheated on her. And then suddenly, it's amazing. Like, these writers are awful.
And then she wants to experiment, and she's breaking his peen, and like the storylines were just crazy with these two. But my thing is, like, even Chelsea is pointing out, like, hey, you don't even really trust him. Like, the way that you're moving to try to appease this man is not like you. But Kat is still doing it. And some people are just hard-headed, and love is blind, like they say. So
Yeah.
she's young and she'll learn.
I wonder how much of it is that's her first love, but also she she didn't want to lose him to Eva. She didn't want to lose something else to Eva, so she hung on to him for that reason. And she's still kind of in the back of her mind is like, if me and Tomas don't work out, then somehow this means Eva won or something. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, and it's so annoying because it's like even her mom, who you just divorced your husband because he cheated on you 20 years prior. It's like everybody is just so very nonchalant about the fact that this man slept with Eva and with this relationship. Not saying that they, should make Kat feel horrible, but it's like you guys are way too accepting of Tomas after what he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And especially Ted. And maybe that's just in general how they treat Kat. Maybe if it was Eva, they would be more on guard and like trying to keep her away and trying to introduce her to other guys. But because it's Kat, yeah, it's okay. She'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll give her a little advice in between. If she wants to be with Tomas, that's fine. That's what it's giving to me.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about Heather.
Messy Heather.
Yeah, my question is, do you think eventually is Andre going to give in?
Yes. Absolutely. Without question. He almost did. Yeah. He was really trying to fight that out. So I don't know what Heather's been doing in that bedroom for him.
Well, she said something, you know what I want, and you know what it is. I want to know what it is. What did he do?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a matter of him cheating on Danny. I think there's something. There's got to be something more to this relationship as to why he wants to hide it, because it can't just be that she was his ex.
Right.
Like there's something else that happened that he doesn't want anybody to know about.
Yeah, like did he commit crimes with her? Like
that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought he helped her with something.
Yeah, me too. Or maybe he witnessed something and that's why he was running. Something is off with those two.
Even that though, even if it was just that he witnessed something, it's like, okay, so why are you hiding that from everybody else? Like, what is hiding that from everybody else going to do? You should. I could understand if he was hiding from her, but why are you keeping it from everybody else that you know who Heather is just because you witnessed her do something? It's just something is just not making sense to me with this reveal.
Remember, she's the impaler too, and there's a lot of unhappy people. Jacob, Ashley would be upset about Andre, especially since how close Andre was to Ashley, that he's actually whatever type of relationship with the impaler and knew who the impaler was all this time.
But I don't think Andre doesn't know she's the impaler.
Oh, he knows something.
I think he knows that she's a criminal. I don't think he knows that specifically she's the impaler. Now, if he knew that, it would make sense.
And I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. Is that he knows that she's the impaler. And he's kept that a secret. And I'm wondering if Smitty's going to find that out too.
Yep.
Smitty or Jacob. And that might be Danny's excuse for leaving him.
Oh, and she would love that. And that'll also get her family off her back too, because they think of Andre as the man that treats her like a princess, and he hiding something this big. Because her mom and her dad is on her about this whole thing with Bill, and it's like the woman is almost 40, 50 years old. She's not like a 20-year-old. She already did what she was going to do with Bill anyway. I mean, I get the
Yeah, but they don't
point
know
of
that.
her parents saying what they saying, but it's like you're not talking to a 20-year old.
Right. But she has no problem sitting down and letting these people tell her, yeah, you have a husband you can go to now. You don't have to worry about Bill. He does such and such. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Let me focus on my marriage with Andre. That is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
That they have to do that.
Yeah.
It's just like I said before. It's this cycle that Danny does where they get into this crisis and she does something that basically disrespects her marriage, and then she's like, oh, I can't, Bill, we can't do this anymore. I can't be your shoulder to cry on, blah, blah, blah. Andre's my priority. I love Andre, everybody. He's my priority. Andre, I love you. And then something else happens and she runs right. Heck, she's still in Bill's business. It's like if Andre is your priority, you would stop trying to investigate whether or not Haley is cheating on him. And I love that Vernon said to her, okay, if Haley is cheating on him, why is that your business? Why do you care? And I'm so happy that one of them said to her out loud, the the amount of care that you're giving for him in this situation, if Haley is cheating, is not what he did for you. Like, he didn't care about you and your feelings when he was cheating on you. And she's like, oh, can't I just care about a friend being happy? Like, girl, shut up.
And
I cannot with her.
And I'm like, you view you as a friend?
She's so stupid. I'm sorry. Like, she's got to be one of the worst written characters on that show. In this particular situation with Bill, like, just dumb. And every time somebody has a conversation with her about Bill, she has this blank look on her face, like there is nothing going on up in her brain. Like, go back and watch that scene with Vernita, and she's sitting there just like a stupid deer in headlights, listening to them talk. Like, there isn't a thought going through her mind,
Well,
probably
they
other
did show
than
the
maybe Bill.
flashback of her thinking about what had happened in that elevator. Because we got that
Well, yeah,
flashback when she was sitting there with them. Because at this
but
point,
this
what
was
can she say? I think she was trying to remain in composure because she know exactly what transpired during that tornado.
yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying. She's sitting there looking like a deer in headlights because she couldn't say anything to what they
right,
were saying because they were right. But she always had, but even like that, I always go back to that scene in the hospital when Bill had to pick up Haley because she had the fake miscarriage, and Danny was there, and he said something to Danny about the two of them, having kids, and he was like, "But you wouldn't understand that because basically because you can't have kids anymore. You're too old to have kids or something like that." And she just stood there with this blank look on her face and a half smile, like, "Oh, Bill, you're so wonderful." And it's like, this man is literally insulting you and belittling you in public in the middle of this lobby, and you still have this nice, caring look on your face for him. Like, that's why I can't with that character. Like, he could do the most demeaning, disrespectful thing to her in public, and she won't care.
like
And it's
Ridge
like,
and
how
Victor.
yes, and it's like, I can't root for a character like, it's impossible to root for a character like that.
I mean, I'm assuming this is probably they write it just like the rest of the soaps. I mean, look at the stuff that Nikki keep crawling back to.
Yeah, she's stupid too.
You
Brooke's
know,
stupid.
but it
Taylor's
just
stupid.
seems like a running theme with what they do on here. I mean, Ridge Taylor, we just talked about Ridge Taylor and Brooke over the past 30 years or whatever, and the stuff that Sharon and Phyllis used to go through over Nicholas for a long period of time, you know. So I'm assuming that this is just some sort of a running plot that they continuously do with these storylines. You got couples
Yeah,
that break
I agree.
yeah, you got couples that
And
break up, they double back, they sleep with each other knowing that one cheated on the other, but they still love them because they've been with them forever and got kids together and you know.
and that will always be the stupidest excuse and the dumbest reason why you keep running back to somebody that completely disrespects you in every way. He still disrespected Danny, even though he's telling Vernon in one breath that he regrets divorcing her, or every once in a while he'll say something sweet to Danny, and then he goes right back to disrespecting her. So it's just like I have nothing for that character. She's just as dumb as Nikki. She's just as dumb as Taylor and Brooke. And I would say he's probably on the same level as the way Victor disrespects Nikki. He's on that level when it comes to Danny.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think anybody's ever going to talk Victor.
Victor done some horrible things.
Oh, Victor has done horrible things. Yes. I'm not talking about the man in general. I'm talking about the way that he treats Nikki. I mean, other than, of course, the man has committed unalivings or attempted unalivings or whatever. I'm not talking about in that sense. I'm just talking about the way that he disrespects Nikki. Bill is on that level with Danny. He's very nasty and disrespectful to her. It hasn't been as blatant this season as it was in the first season, but it's gross to me. Like, if you love her so much, then how come you haven't left Haley yet? You basically asked this woman who you cheated on for however many years of your marriage to be your side chick. You can't even love the mother of your children enough to leave your current wife for her.
I think it's more of a possession sort of thing with Bill. I think he still loves his wife, but he also knows that she will give this man open access, and she shows it every time she is in this man's face, running to him for whatever type of reason. So he doesn't have to do much of anything. It's really
exactly my point. That is exactly my point. So he doesn't love Danny the way that he claims to love her or care about her. Because if he did, he wouldn't be treating her like that. But he chooses to take advantage of her feelings for him and to keep dangling this little carrot over her head while also keeping Haley. So the man hasn't learned anything in the 30 odd years that he and Danny had been married, and he made all those mistakes with her. He's continuing to do it just with Danny on the other side. And this is the mother of his kid, like the mother of his kids that they always try to make excuses about as to why they still need to be in each other's lives 24/7.
Yeah, well, I guess piggybacking on what you were saying about Danny, the character, she's allowing it. She is at the jumping call, and when he asked for her to come in the room instead of his wife, she went in there and she jumped up and said, "I want to be here for my husband," and all of that stuff. So I mean,
that's why her character is so unreadable. For me, this is just for me, in my opinion, because she does all that goofy stuff.
So I mean, the two of them, I don't even take her marriage seriously with Andre, because it's a rebound, first of all, and it's built on quicksand. So how you start out is how you usually end up. And then now we got the secret of what happened over at during the tornado, and now we got Andre with this secret with Heather. So I mean, that's just a catastrophe waiting to happen. Haley is probably on her way out, because there's that promo where she told Bill today that she ain't got nothing going on with Sammy, even at the relationship aspect. But he's going to see her over at the restaurant with Sammy. So who knows where that's going to go. That's going to fall apart eventually, because Haley don't want to be with him either. So, at this point, I guess we just going to have to ride it out and see what's going to happen next. I mean...
And by the way, I would feel this way about Danny even if she wasn't married to Andre.
Gotcha. All right, we got to talk about...
with her before that.
Right. We got to talk about Leslie, because I don't know why they gave us that little. Was that like a standalone video with her and Malone, or it was a half a video with her and Malone?
It was the episode pretty much centered about her checkered love
Not
life.
Malone. Dang it,
Oh,
Ted.
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 Yeah, it was pretty much a standalone episode about her and Ted.
I
Because
gotta
I
say,
think outside of the flashbacks, Ted was in scenes with Bill because they were talking about his past, and then Eva and Isaiah was talking about Ted and Leslie too.
So, and I think we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Is this a prelude? Because we look like they're trying to. At some point, we had Eva trying to tell her mom, "You need to figure this thing out with Malone," and he invited her to move in on his boat, and she wasn't having it. Um, but on the flip side, they gave us a whole horrible flashback. Because I mean, they're not good at the flashbacks, I gotta say. Yeah, because I mean, the Danny Bill flashback, they were total opposites. And then this flashback, I know they were trying to go back to the 1990s because obviously Ted had on one of them shirts from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air or something. And, she had on them big old gold earrings that we wore in our 20s. I remember those. So and that would have put us right around 1991, 1992, something like that. And which would put Eva around 30 plus years old. So it had to have been the early 90s. And but it gave us a current age version of Ted and Leslie. You know what I'm saying? It's like they made the Bill and Danny character younger when they did the flashback, even though Danny was light skinned and Bill was dark. And then on this flashback, they gave us the 45, 50-year-old version, but put them in the 1990s, I guess. It was different. It was weird.
It really was. They've I know they're trying to work out the kinks, and trying to do the flashbacks, but they were really good with as far as the casting in certain areas. But when it comes to these flashbacks, it's just odd. Like, I think the worst episode they did a flashback or like a dream scenario was the one they had with the cat, because everybody was still in the same clothes and the storyline didn't make any sense. And I understand they're trying to paint some sort of picture with how she was with Ted, and I'm like, okay, but even still, like, I cannot even root for that because this man was a full-blown cheater, and he was pretty much proud of it from the looks of it. And we see how Leslie is now, and it's hard to even root for her, try to root for that love. So I'm like, what's the purpose of the standalone if they're not going to put those two together?
Right. It's weird. I don't know why they did that. And at the same time, because even in today's episode, this girl, he told her to beg for him for forgiveness. And, I was like, what type of beg? Is she finna get on her knees or something? But no, she apologized for being mean and what she said about his boat and, and all that other kind of stuff. So why are you having the character beg to be with one character, but you give us a whole standalone with the Ted character? Yeah.
Yeah. They might as well just go ahead and put her with Ted. I mean, the way that he capes for her and allows her to get away with certain things, I'm like, you might as well just go ahead and put her with that man.
I found that very interesting, but I don't know. Do y'all think Malone and Leslie make a good on-screen couple?
I think they look good together. I think their personalities mesh well. Because he's kind of a gruff, like, he doesn't give a crap kind
Mm-hmm.
of person, and she's the same way.
Okay. Bree, I am unfiltered is using one of your words. She said Marcel is a filler romance.
Yes, that is
A
correct.
filler.
Yeah, he's definitely that, just like Shanice is.
Oh God, yes. There's no chemistry for me with Ted and Shanice. I said that I think earlier maybe, but no.
Yeah. It's,
Mm-mm.
it's unfortunate because I want to see Shanice on screen, but she's a whole rebound, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. That is true. We did have a little bit of a conversation between Ted and Carlton about how he felt about Nicole moving on with Kyle. And he was just like, I had to make a decision and whether or not I want to be able to deal with this relation. I knew at some point because you can only have so much fun in a situation like this for so long because people have emotions and attachments and they got attached and somebody was either they were going to either cut each other off, which they tried to do playing basketball and in these heated arguments, or somebody get tired and say, look, I ain't trying to do this no more. And that's what Carlton did, obviously. So, and he kind of explained it to Ted and was like, hey, I had to remove myself from the situation. So,
I'm like, you could have been and done that. I mean, you chose to sit there and wait for this woman, and him saying like, "Oh, I had to make a decision." No, she pretty much chose and said that, "Hey, you're just not the guy." So he did all that waiting around for what? Nothing. And he could have had a whole wife and some kids, or he could have had a life of his own. So the most that he got were the goodies. He sat on the sidelines on the bench, and he finally got access to the girl. But she, said, "Hey, there's too many memories with you. You remind me of my husband. I need a fresh start." She basically told him that. So, I mean, he could have always decided. He just chose to want to stick around and get access to her. So, I mean, would that make him thirsty?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I mean, because of the fact that you sat outside your best friend's marriage for so long hoping for an opening, and when that opening became available, shot your shot only to be part of a whole nother triangle with another man that she was interested in. So it's
yeah.
up to you to continue to play that game or you decide to walk away. And he walked away. He was like, yeah, I can't do this no more.
And there's single ladies on this show that he could get with.
Well, it'd be nice if the writers would put him with somebody, but
Writers, I hope you're listening. Well, that's the sucky part. Because Beyond the Gates, they filmed 6 months in advance, so they're well into they're well into filming season 3 now.
Right.
Because they did all the Christmas episodes like a couple of months ago, so they're in season 3.
Yeah.
And I think they came back from like a summer break for like a month. So
gotcha.
It's too late, but you guys are listening. We love the show, but we offer great suggestions if you like to listen.
Yeah. You know what? Right quick, thinking about Heather because Joey has been having Heather followed, and obviously the guys that was following, a couple of them screwed up, right? But Andre done been to that girl's house twice, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody seen Andre come
I
up.
wonder if he already knew Andre and Heather knew each other, and that was why he made that bet with Danny.
Oh, I don't know. It's possible.
Yes. Yep. I'm so glad you brought that up. I think that's going to come into play. But I I also think the stuff that Danny and Bill is going to come into play. I think Joey's going to find that out too, probably through Vanessa. Since she's been confiding in Vanessa.
Is that bet still on?
They said for a
I
year.
mean, they haven't talked about it, but yeah.
That would be really interesting. And I love how they always go back to certain like storylines or certain characters or things that were said. So I think they might revisit that.
Okay, so the 1 year is coming up on September the 22nd. Because they got married September 22nd, 2025. So it'll be a year next month. So I'm wondering if that bet is since that bet is still in place. You know what I mean?
I can see them probably breaking up by then because all the stuff with Haley and Bill's about to implode. And she already is sitting on a secret. And then you got the stuff in the background with Andre and Heather. Something's about to come to a head, either her secret or Andre's secret.
Right.
So either which way, Joey's about to win that bet.
Yep. Gotcha. I just wanted to ask about that right quick. It was something. Oh, Noah had his little, open mic night over at Nicole's house, and Deanna looks smitten.
Good for her. I love this character. I think that she's adorable. I'm glad that she and Kat are friends because they're one and the same, and they like to call out the BS. Like, she's adorable. So, we don't see her brother on the show.
Let me ask y'all this because, do y'all think that they're kind of slowly moving her from the Doug thing? Because I really haven't seen lately. Her thing is being wrapped up in, this thing with Noah. Do you think that she's still on a whole thing with trying to find out what's going on, what happened with her dad or whatever?
I think it'll come back around.
You think they're going to come back around? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Kat, where her relationship is in the background, but when she's focused on something and zeroes in on something, she wastes no time trying to get to the bottom of it. Like she did try to do with the stuff with Haley and the stuff that Leslie did to Laura. So, but she was still able to have like her relationship. I think it's okay for Deanna to have a little something and maybe another person to confide in, but she's still on Joey's neck.
Gotcha.
I don't think she'll move from Joey's neck.
Okay. Dang, we actually covered a lot because I was looking through last week's recaps. Joey stands his ground with his sister because I know he wants her gone.
So that father and son moment with Joey and Isaiah. Do you guys kind of see where I'm thinking now that Joey is his man's father?
I don't know because the way that they tried to detail out his dialogue, because at first definitely I thought the same thing too. We talked about that, many times on this podcast. But I'm wondering when he said he helped me out at a bad time when I was getting in trouble, and when I couldn't go to my dad or anything like that. It was real detailed on what he said that their connection started from. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe are they trying to give us an answer? I mean, he still could be a possible father situation that Darlene stepped out, but I don't know.
They're just to me because he sees how much the relationship with Isaiah and he has seen it for years now between Isaiah and Elon. I feel like Joy would be the type of person that is not just going to sit back and watch his son struggle with a relationship with a man that's not his father, and would I feel like he would have said something by now.
Mm.
Like, look, forget about this guy. He's not your dad. I'm your dad. We have this great relationship, so you don't have to worry about his opinion anymore. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like he would sit back and watch somebody else raise his kid without being able to have a hand in it. That's
Or
if he knows.
or
Maybe it's a situation where he doesn't know. I don't
yeah.
know.
And we haven't really had any Darlene backstory about secrets or her having secret conversations with Joey. Like, look, this can never come out. He can never. No, we ain't got nothing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And they purposefully, we have not seen a scene with her and Joey yet.
Nope, at all. We
Like
hardly
she didn't see
see
no fuck.
Darlene. You know.
I
Sad again. It cut off a little bit
No,
for
I
me. You
said
said we haven't seen the
we hardly see Darlene. We hardly see her.
Oh yeah.
and she hasn't been in not one scene with Joey, or there's haven't been any real
Right.
mention of Darlene.
Yeah.
Like, how is Joey so intertwined with everything that's going on with Isaiah for him to not know the mother? He knows Elon, and he's been making deals with Elon, but you don't know his mother. I find
Yeah.
that really odd.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also very confused about what exactly was it that put a damper in the relationship with Elon and Isaiah. Was he already in the streets and that was the problem that he had with his dad because his dad was trying to tell him, he was doing wrong? Or did he not get into the streets until after whatever the issue was with his father started to weigh on him, and then that's just what he chose to do to kind of rebel, and then that's how he met, Joey? Or like, I'm still confused. What is it specifically that what is the reason they don't get along? Like, it can't just be because he wanted you to do something specific with your life and he didn't. I mean, it can be, but if that's all it is, that's just lame to me. So it's like your father couldn't convince you to get out of the streets, but this random strange man could.
I I I think it's part of that. I think because his other brothers, Luke and Jacob, they followed the path of his father, and I think with Elon being the way he is, he wants all of his boys to follow this, be on the same accord. And he was rebellious against that, or he felt that it just wasn't for him. And I think that he's always said that they butt heads about a lot of different things, and he never really felt like he was a part of that family. And the fact that Joey has been his ear, and he's been basically taking care of Isaiah, watching over him, and even wanted Isaiah to share the stuff that he did for Joey to Eva. And with Joey being the way he is, keeping things close to the chest and want to kind of control the environment, why is he so invested with Isaiah if that wasn't his child?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I know that's we've been speculating that. That could this because it definitely seems to lean toward that, but then at the same time we don't see any type of lead up or backstory or Darlene even knowing him or anything. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
I still feel Joey is that man's father. The investment is there.
Yep.
And if you look at Isaiah, he looked like he could be a mixed child.
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, any
I mean, and I
brown skinned person can look mixed.
And I can see Darlene kind of stepping out the same way we see Elon has stepped out, and he's a dirty cop. Who's to say that Darlene hasn't done something in her past, or maybe she was one of the nighttime ballerinas or like the escorts.
Mm-hmm.
working for Joey or something in her past. Anything could have happened. But this man is awfully close to Isaiah.
Yeah.
Wants to know every deep, like, you would have thought this was his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
Joey has enough on screen. His
But we,
dad too.
Yeah.
but we, he can. I want him to have a child. If there's anything with this investment, Isaiah might as well be his child.
Yeah. Well, we will see. Did we cover everything?
I believe so. Oof, that was a
Okay.
good week.
Yes, it was. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these last segments, and I'll get you guys back rested for tomorrow, Tuesday. We have our Flip the Script, who's taken several seats, Star of the Week, Pickle of the Week, Simple Olympics, and the Audacity Award. So, what y'all flipping on the Young and the Restless?
I would have actually loved if Victor and Adam had like just kicked Kane out the house and not entertain anything that he said, leaving him out cold
Who,
and then leaving him
Kane?
empty-handed. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
leaving him out cold and leaving him empty-handed for Lily.
Yeah. I kind of wish that Jack would have did exactly what Devon had to did when it came to his conversation with Lily. Don't be tiptoeing around that girl. She tried to manipulate you emotionally. You said, he clearly said he wanted to stay out of this. And she was like, well, staying out of it means taking Billy's side. Where'd you get that from? Staying out of it
Yeah.
means staying out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
did you have anything, Keisha? Nah.
Um, I don't. My flip would be just completely putting a stop to whatever these writers are getting ready to do with this Billy Audra BS.
Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I heard
She,
that.
if,
She's
if
do.
Sally wasn't pregnant, it would be different. But
Oh, okay.
y'all about to put her through another hard pregnancy when she had a miscarriage the first time. That was tough for her, and now you're gonna have her. What it looks like is that they're about to have her best friend, her only friend in town, hook up with her fiance. That I hope that that's not where they're headed, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Gotcha. All right, what you flipping on bold?
Um, I wish like I wish there was like little pieces where we see like someone in the background looking at Steffi and Carter, so we can kind of get a hint that somebody had saw them together,
Oh,
leading towards a reveal that
okay.
someone else knows her secret.
Yeah, I want to see my flippers. I want to see Dylan tell Electra off.
For
That would be
once,
great for once.
Man, I mean, all that stuff she was saying to Will about Electra, you need to say that to her face.
Mm-hmm.
So,
stand up for yourself.
what you got, Keish?
My flip would have been Daphne walking in on Carter and Steffi the next
Ooh,
morning.
ooh wee.
Yep. Or that
Yep.
door being unlocked.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I could see that. All right, what y'all flipping on BTG?
Um, I actually would have want Naomi to kind of let Tomas hang himself, let him be in charge of Madison's case and do the settlement, and then get himself fired by Bill. Let him hang himself. There's no point of arguing back and forth with him.
Okay. I would have. The flashbacks need to be revamped.
Yeah, like, they could do better. Maybe they're working out the kinks.
Yeah.
Maybe season 3 is better.
What you got, Keish?
I would have an Andre and Haley scene, and I would have had Haley be messy and tell Andre that his wife stood in the middle of the, because he still don't know that this happened, that his wife stood in the middle of the hospital and called Bill her husband.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they haven't come out yet.
Yep. Maybe they're waiting for something. Who knows? Something major. All right. Who's taking seats on Y&R?
This Chancellor storyline can take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
This was so unnecessary.
I'm with Brie. They doing another freaking business storyline that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Like, at what point are all these businesses just going to settle and actually do some business? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's plenty of other things that they can write business-wise that don't have to do with takeovers and stealing companies, and this is exhausting.
Yeah. Like, we could have at least seen Phyllis build her company since she finally got one, versus going back and forth with this Chancellor stuff. And neither Billy and Lily are not even chancellors. So it's like, what's the point?
Well, I'm going to give Lily a seat. I don't mind the storyline. I like corporate takeovers and it keeps it interesting. I've always said that. But Lily can take a seat in my case because, I mean, her going around trying to guilt trip people and get people to say yes when they tell her no. Yeah, nah, girl, please stop. Listen to your brother and your cousin.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
seats on bold.
Steffi and Carter need to take a seat. Carter needs to take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And even Daphne needs to take a seat because her nose failed her. Well, like, the evidence was right there.
Finn needs to take a seat because he needs to shut up and let Steffi tell him what's going on. It's like, dude, stop.
Yep. Just a mess.
Electra.
Yeah.
Electra can have the seat too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also give Dylan the seat because I need her to take it down a notch when it comes to Leo.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Ridge can get a seat. We plenty of seats to be had. Give Ridge a seat too.
Wait, what he do?
He is still blaming Finn.
You know what Ridge can have a seat for? He can have a seat for saying that the worst thing Carter ever did was have an affair with Hope. Where on earth did that line come from?
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
Like, these writers really think that we're stupid.
Yeah, because I was sitting up there thinking, like, wait a minute, they didn't have an affair. Neither one of them were in a relationship.
Right, or married. And you didn't even care about that.
Right. He was the one that called her a nasty bee.
Yes.
I think the most he said about their relationship was that she was manipulating Carter. But he wasn't all heartbroken and pissed off that Carter was dating somebody that he looked at as a daughter 15 years ago. Like, that was crazy. BS.
All right, seats BTG.
Haley storyline can take a seat.
Oh my gosh, please.
I'm so over it. That man, he got like 9 lives.
Okay.
There's only so many times we can watch her put drops in his drinks.
Exactly. That thing been going on for a year, right? Brie?
Yes, it will be a year in September. Because that's when she flipped.
Wow.
So, what more is this woman going to? I mean, at this point, pew pew or send him off to like an island and said he ran away. Anything but this.
Right.
Yeah, they dragging this.
She could have been and had a baby and then divorced and then went after child support at that point.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
And would have had plenty of money to just hire a nanny because she didn't seem very interested in actually being a mom.
Yeah, but the thing is, she don't even want to be with this guy. She want him gone. There's some anger and some trauma from her past. Remember they had their when they flipped her, she talked about how much she hated being in a relationship with a man because of what has happened or something. So now
Right.
she taking out all that energy in this situation. Not only is he a lick, but he's a way. This is a way for her to get that pain or revenge out on him too.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, Tomas got to take that seat. I just that man
Mm-hmm.
is irritating, and he
Yeah,
should have
and
took a seat outside of the office because this wasn't his case.
I'm gonna give Danny a seat too. As much like, yes, we know Haley is trying to unalive Bill. We know that as the viewers, but I'm so tired of her and her kids expecting Haley to be all up in Bill's lap in the hospital every second of the day. Like, she went to his office to get, I forget what she said it was, his laptop or something, because he asked her to. And one of the first things Danny says to her is, "Why aren't you at the hospital with Bill? Why aren't you taking care of Bill?" And it's like, just because that's what you chose to do, because you chose to sit up under this man every second of the day that you could, doesn't mean that that's how she has to do it. And that's what her and her girls expect, is for Haley to be in that man's face every second of the day, catering to him. And that drives me nuts. Like,
Okay,
shut up, Danny.
gotcha. All right, star of the week, YNR.
Um, I'm actually gonna give this to Brighton James, who plays
Oh yeah,
Devon.
he definitely had the comeback, didn't he?
Yes, he sure did.
Ooh, I was
I guess
like,
I need to
huh?
go back and I said, I guess I need to go back and actually pay
Girl,
attention
that
last week.
scene at Society when Lily called him over to come to the restaurant so she can talk about this whole situation with this chancellor thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he told her, because I guess she automatically expected, because this was Catherine Chancellor's legacy, that he's going to see
Mm-hmm.
this as important as she was. Well, he was like, I really don't care about it. I'm trying to create this college, let him have it. And she was surprised by that. And then she goes into all this, oh, I'm so disappointed in you. And, you never had what did she say, Bree, that he never protected her or supported her or something like
Yeah,
that.
never protected her, supported her, and that he's not looking out for the family. She's got to look out for Catherine's legacy, and she basically just goaded him and trying to guilt trip him so she can get his check to pay Jack to get the company.
But they have a
That's all
family
she
company.
said.
What does she mean? He doesn't look out for this. That's not their family's company. It's not her family's company.
Well, that's why when he came back and said, "Well, I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm about to take off." He left her with all of that manipulation, cuz that's
Yes.
all it was.
Oh,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she
something.
thought
Okay.
that he was going to feel bad. Oh, I don't want you to feel that way about me. You know I'm always going to be here for you. And then that would have been her saying, okay, then I need you to support me with this, like she did with Holden. And
Yeah.
Holden caved. Devon did not.
I think Holden
Yeah.
was worried about being accepted.
Yeah,
And the
so.
fact that she said, like, you're not looking out for me, you're not looking out for the family. And I'm like, you faked the whole kidnapping. You didn't look out for your brother while his child was missing. Where were you at?
Exactly.
Right.
He was worried about you.
Exactly. While he was trying to deal with the stuff with his own child, trying to find you and your children. She can really miss me with that. I was so glad when he walked off. So yeah, Keisha, you need to go see those scenes.
I got the clip on Instagram.
Yeah,
I
dude,
isolated
perfect.
that one clip on Instagram.
Yeah, she had a lot of gall to say that
Mm-hmm.
about him.
Yep. Um. Okay. Where we at? Okay. Star of the week, bold.
I'm gonna give it to Jackie.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give. I was actually gonna give it to Lawrence Saint Victor, who plays Carter.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be
I don't know
co-winners.
if I have a star over there. I mean, obviously we got Thomas in the making over there, but
Wait, who's that?
The making.
huh?
Crew.
Who was Thomas in the making?
Crew.
Oh,
I mean, he definitely he's scoring some points. He's definitely
Mm-hmm.
passing some exams. He's trying to be a heartthrob like his daddy. He working it.
Yep.
oh, that's why you called him Thomas in the making.
Right.
Got it. Took me a second, but I got it now.
Keisha over there, you like, what is she talking about?
I'm like, what happened this week? But
No, those scenes he be having, like the one he put that girl on top of the counter, and then
yeah,
he turned around in that shower and pushed her up against that wall.
yes, he did. Good job, crew.
I wonder did Josh tell him, okay, you got a love scene coming up, this is what you got to do.
I mean,
Go watch some of my previous episodes from back in the day.
Crew has like a 30-year repertoire
Right.
to look through. I mean, it might be kind of weird for him to look at his dad doing that, but
right, that would be kind of weird.
But if this is just acting and he's just watching it and trying to take notes, I mean, he's definitely learning from his daddy somehow. Maybe he did coach him and said, like, look, you want to turn up the heat, you need to do this, this, and this. Or maybe this is just, Crew, throwing a little something for maybe what he does.
Right, it could be just him. Some people just got it naturally. Matt Atkinson is one of them.
Okay, and who he is and who Thomas is like night and day, because Matt Atkinson is a very Christian.
Yeah, he is very Christian.
Man.
Yeah, he sure is.
They are really, fully about the Bible. Like some of like his stuff on social media is Bible focused. I wonder if she delivered that baby yet.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
she got baby number 2 on the way.
Yeah, it should be due this month or next month, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
It's a baby girl this time. But Thomas, like, whatever, that's what we're saying. Like, whatever his wife is getting in real life, if this is like,
girl,
like
if he was doing,
if
he was doing that on screen with Annika, can you imagine what Brittany's getting?
Okay. Like, it's a happy, healthy marriage. And he loves his wife. The stuff that he says about his wife on their podcast is incredibly sweet. It's so heartwarming. I love it. They're a beautiful couple together.
Yep. Okay. Star BTG.
I was trying to decide between 3, but I'm actually going to go ahead and give it to Ashley Jones, who plays Heather.
Okay. I can roll with that.
She has some great scenes, and I love the messiness of this character.
I like the fact that I'm so used to seeing her as Bridget, to see her take on a little bit of more of a darker role. She's doing an excellent job at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Pickle Young.
Lily and Kane can get this Pickle.
Yep.
I think that is not right. They get the Pickle the week.
Yeah, girl, you're so silly. Yeah, I wait a minute. I had to pause for a minute. I'm like, did she just say that?
Oh God. Yeah, it's Monday night, y'all. Sorry. It's been a long week.
All right.
I'm going to give it to Matt Clark and Sharon having that conversation. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna you know what, I'm gonna give it to Nikki because she was irritating. Trying to play 2 in the middle, which obviously extended over into today's episode. But I'm just like, girl, you just got out of this mess back into your relationship. Now you want to start it all over again. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. The Simple Olympics. Oh no,
The
pickle,
pickle for
pickle
gold.
young, pickle bowl. I'm sorry.
Um, that's gonna be Miss. My name is on the building, and my name signs your checks.
Yeah, tell me about it. I agree with that. That girl, ooh, insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Yeah. Everybody unanimous on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. BTG. Tomas get it again.
Yes,
I'm gonna give a,
absolutely.
I'm gonna give a pickle to that flashback episode
Yeah, that'll work too. That'll work
because I
too,
think
Keish.
yeah, they be trying to make us feel sorry for Leslie, and I can't muster up any sympathy for someone who willingly had an affair.
Yeah, David is a mess.
The married man.
David said Heather's trying to get a pickle too.
Something, whatever he was doing to her, she is trying to befriend the wife. She's trying to find any way to get back with Andre.
I know, right?
So,
All right, now we got the Simple Olympics. What you got, Bree? You got your list together?
yeah, it took me a minute to think about this. So, I'm gonna give Will a pass after today's episode. So
Okay.
he won't be on this list. So bronze is gonna go to RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Silver is actually gonna go to Danny for last week. Finn is getting gold for apologizing for absolutely no reason and not letting this woman speak so she can be honest with you. Just taking all the accountability for no reason. And then platinum is going to go to Kane.
Oh,
You're
gosh.
you're gonna crawl back to the man who took your fortune, who dismantled your company, and everything else. You steady crawling back to this man.
Yep.
Why? For Lily? And then talking about like I'm gonna do whatever for her. Well,
If it means getting my
illegal.
hands dirty, so you gonna go and be like Michael and put yourself in a Peruvian prison too?
And here's the funny part. When Lily had a conversation with Nate, he was like, "You guys are basically in a relationship." He's like, "We don't need to talk about that." So you can't even let. So he's not your man.
Right.
You guys are just doing a do together.
Girl,
there's no title, no nothing.
This is her way of trying to somewhat repay Kane for that bone marrow, that stem cell transplant. If it wasn't for that, these two wouldn't even be talking to each other.
Nope, at all. You're gonna risk going to jail for her. You embarrass yourself by going back to Victor for her, and she's not even comfortable saying that she's your girlfriend. So yeah, he gets platinum, at least for me this week.
Girl, your list sounds great. Will was on that list, but like you said, he redeemed himself in today's episode.
Yeah.
When it came to standing up to Elektra, letting that girl just treat you any kind of way just because you want to be with her. He kind of flipped that today.
He sure did.
Yep. So good business. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with your list because I mean that was we did have some Michael this week, but last week, but it was about the whole Danny Christine thing. He didn't get into any simping trouble, so
not yet. I feel like that's coming. Especially with the stuff going on with Lily, I can already see that.
I know, but, right?
Yeah, but bronze goes to RJ for doing what he does best for Elektra. And then silver's going to go to Danny with her putting her cape on, trying to be around Bill. Mm-hmm. And you got Finn and his foolishness with Steffi. And then Kane for all the stuff right is listed for platinum.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And then the Audacity Award.
Miss, my name is on the front of the building, and I'm Elektra Forrester, and if I want you gone, you're gone. this chick over here, she get the audacity probably for the year, because how many times has she been on this list already?
I know. I'm gonna
Enough.
oh yeah, enough, exactly. I'm gonna put her both of them at Lily and Electra in my book because Lily was just. I'm like, you got the audacity to say that to your brother
Yeah,
after everything he went through when you were playing go hide and seek with you and your kids from Kane.
yeah,
No, mm-mm. And then you got the nerve to sit up and say, "I'm disappointed in you." Yeah, okay.
yeah. Lost her mind.
Mm-hmm. Did you have
So I mean,
anything, Keish?
No.
No. Gotcha. What you finna say, Bree?
I said it was Lily's award, but I mean,
Yeah.
now Electra has taken over, so maybe they're just taking turns at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. Before we go, I just want to mention we will be doing another trivia show and a lot of other fun stuff that's going on. It's probably going to be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I have to work out the arrangement with my co-host, so I don't know what days. One of those 2 days are good for you. Preferably, I guess Thursday because we do the podcast on a Monday night. But if in fact, you know, Tuesday, either one of those days, just let me know, and then we can kind of coordinate times and schedules to, do the
Yeah,
whole fun stuff, the fun soap fun day or whatever. I'm trying to think of a cool name to call it because it's more than just trivia. So,
yeah. I, Thursday works good for me. I'm good with that.
what about you, Keish? If you want to be a part of it, or
um, I may be able to do Thursday.
okay, and I don't mean like this Thursday of this week. I'm gonna have to,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So you'll get some time in advance. We still got to get some other stuff, questions, all that type of stuff. So, um,
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm trying to get everything all together so it'll be ready to go.
yeah. That would be fun. Well, do you want to do it at night, or did you want to do it like midday?
Oh, I don't know. That's gonna be hard in the midday.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll keep it around the same time then. But there'll be a lot of fun, guys.
Yep.
It's a lot of questions across all the three soaps.
Yep. So, and Keish, if you have any trick questions or anything you want to throw in, that's cool too. I don't know. We don't know everything.
Okay.
Yep. Send me some stuff if you can think of something, or even if it's a whole different segment. Hey, why about this? Well, we should do this too. I want make sure everybody's involved. So,
Sounds good.
all right, you guys, we're gonna let you guys go. Have an amazing week. Stay tuned for the rest of the episodes for all three shows, the standalone videos that I did one earlier today. So hopefully you go and check that out. And other than that, we will see you guys next time. Did y'all have anything else before we go?
I didn't.
No, I was gonna say, Jenna, feel better.
Yeah,
Speedy recovery from the hospital.
yeah. Feel
Yeah.
better soon, Miss Jenna. And I'm glad you are getting better because she did say she was feeling a little bit better. So,
Yeah.
all right, you guys have an amazing night. We will talk to you later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye.